Welcome back to an all new episode of Much Ado About Nothing. We've been gone for 2 months, but we are back, ready to pod for you guys. It's been this is a much needed break. Much needed break. But we are back. I'm your co host, Jawan. Join with me, as always, is my other co host, Joel Trayvon. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be great.
She's become one with the internet.
As it was always written. Alright, so guys, we have a fun show in store for you today. First thing I want to start off with is we had a weekend at the cinema. Joel saw 4 movies in an hour. Trayvon saw 2 movies. Right, Trayvon? It was 2, right?
One.
You didn't see Lilo and Stitch?
No,
Oh, that's right. You're racist. I forgot.
not yet.
But yeah, we all got a chance to go to the movies. We all saw Mission Impossible. But Joel, since you're the only one that got a chance to see more than one movie, bitch. Go ahead and tell us about the 2 movies me and Trayvon did not see because you refuse to be a good friend of me. Go ahead.
Alright, so I watched Lilo and Stitch. And it was very good. Very, very good. It definitely takes liberties. As like all live action adaptations do.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part it does its job emotionally. There's a lot of emotional parts. More than maybe I'm just getting old and things just hit me more now, but there were definitely some sad parts. But it's also very funny. I thought the casting was on point for especially Lilo. Because that's hard to find a little kid that can act like that. I thought she was fantastic. She did a great job.
And it was their first project.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, she hadn't acted before.
Yeah, she looks young too, but she did a great job. And me and Stitch was great. He really did. They did a great job. All the aliens look great. They never really felt like they stood out. They felt like they were, which sometimes that happens where they kind of stick out because of the CGI. But I thought they fit really well. I thought it fit what they did really well. Yeah, it really did it did a great job. One of the better live action adaptations that I've seen from Disney. So kudos to them for pulling it off.
And what about Final Destination?
Final Destination was alright. I liked most of the movie. I didn't like the way it ended, so it kind of ruined the rest of the movie for me. But it was actually pretty decent for most of the movie. I understood where it was going, I understood what they were trying to say, and then it ended, and I'm like, is it like what was the point? like I don't know. That's how it felt for me, but whatever. Overall, I thought it was a. If you've seen Final Destination, it definitely lives up to its name. It definitely does its job in that regard. I just felt like it was a weird way to end the movie, but I guess if it depends. If this is the end of the series, then maybe it's not a bad thing. But I don't know.
What was it? This one just was this. What was this called? What was the subtitle?
Bloodlines. It's called Bloodlines. Okay. So if it was the end, if this is the end, okay. No, maybe not as bad. I didn't know if it was or not. So I was like, that was what?
Yeah, I can't watch any more of those. Mm-mm. I had enough when I was younger. I can't do it anymore.
This girl's in it. Stargirl.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, she was in it. So I was really nice seeing her again.
I just got one question about Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Did she beat the little girl up?
There's no beating of a girl, but there is a moment in the movie where she gets violent.
Oh, okay.
But there's no like she beat her ass. No, there is a moment where she does get in trouble.
That shit was that's the main. If I think of Lilo Stitch, that's the first thing I think of. That part. That shit was.
There is a moment.
That shit was hilarious.
You'll see. I don't want to spoil it. I don't know how you'll take it, but to me, it's their version of it.
Okay, I'm gonna see it this weekend. So, yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Joel?
in terms of those two movies.
Yeah.
No, they're both good. I enjoyed probably Lilo & Stitch a little more. I hope to see another one. I'm not saying I need another one, but it was good enough to see. I wouldn't mind seeing them again.
It's doing well enough. I'm sure they'll do another one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, they gave us a Mufasa movie no one asked for, so
that's also fair.
yeah.
Didn't see that though.
I didn't see that.
I still haven't seen it.
I don't know many people that did, but God bless. What was I gonna say? All right, so Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise, for those of you that were wondering, has not run out of ways to try to kill himself.
Okay.
He's only become more inventive. That movie was one of those things where it's like, and I usually never feel this in movies because, like, obviously you just know. But that and the last John Wick were the only two times I've ever watched an action movie where I'm like, he's not gonna die, is he? Like, it was one of those where it's like, no, of course, but wait, could he?
Look,
will they?
I turned to my friend so many times. I said, "Nah, come on,
I mean,
what the hell is this? Like, especially that water shit. I was like, come on, he took it off. There's no way."
Yeah, no, that was. I don't know, man, but I give Christopher, the director, so much credit. I give J.J. Abrams so much credit for having faith in this franchise to help bring it back to life. Without Mission Impossible 3, you don't get the rest of these great Mission Impossible movies. Mission Impossible 3 is what truly set it on this crash. It was their equivalent of what Fast and Furious did with Fast 5. If not for Fast 5, that franchise is dead long time ago.
That's true.
So, you know, you kind of just look back. I mean, it's made to kind of be, I think it's meant to be a bookend. I don't think it's meant to necessarily be the last, but he kind of made it to where it's like, and let me ask, I want to ask you this, Trayvon. Am I tripping, or was that Elsa at the end? The chick that as parting ways are happening, there's a chick that's walking right in front of him. And it's just like, she never turns around. And it's like, I'd like to believe somewhere that's Elsa.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying, in a universe where you kind of are like, oh, they died. And they rip a mask off, and you're like, you son of a bitch. You Scooby-Dooed me. Again, you did great. I kind of feel like she's alive somewhere out there.
I mean, they could easily, listen. The things I've seen, they could easily do it. Easily. If they want to next movie, her ass was like, yeah, I was here. Like, and now we can say, all right. Like, at this point, like, these two franchises, this and Fast and Furious, anybody's game. Anybody's game. It's just, you never know at this point.
Yep. I mean, last thing I say before I give it to you, Trayvon, and give me your thoughts on the movie. I love this movie. This movie is still, and I've had time to sit on it. This franchise is still my all-time greatest action movie franchise. It sits comfortably at number one. The great right. It's a concept that should have run out, right? To where you're kind of just like, I'm kind of bored. I'm done. You've done everything you could do. It's the way I ended up feeling with Burn Notice. Like, after a while, it's kind of just like, I'm done. Like, you did it. We got as far as we needed to. End it, But for this, it's kind of just like, never feel that, I truly did love it. Last thing I'll say is, I hope they don't reboot it. I hope if Tom Cruise decides he's done with it, I hope they keep the same team and just go to recruit a new quote-unquote Ethan Hunt replacement. Because it's an organization. So at some point, I mean,
you can't go forever.
If he died, I'm sure the whole organization wasn't going to crumble. They were just going to find someone else, right? So don't reboot it, continue it, because I love that team. I want to see more Benji. I want to see more everyone. Just or if you want, I don't know if maybe that's what they were leaning to. Kind of felt like they were trying to, with the last movie and this movie, give more to Haley Atwell, but not too much. So I'm like, I don't know. Was she meant to just be another part of the team, or like something you can maybe build on going forward? I'm still for giving it.
She was
Gwen
like a
Powell.
foil for him a little bit. She was like a foil.
She was. Which, by the way, and you'll appreciate this, Trayvon. Ethan Hunt ain't slick. All right, he a little hoe.
Of course he is.
How did the love of your life die at your feet, and then not even years later, right? Because we know this movie is only 2 months after the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga fucking shacking up with what's her name? I'm like, Ethan Hunt, you cold. You cold, dog. Elsa died for you. Like, she died for you.
He did.
He a sick motherfucker.
Trying to save
right
that
there.
girl. Yep.
He's sick. Little did she know, she saved the woman. He'd later, I'll say it like this, was helping, mentoring, quote unquote. But anyway, Trayvon, your thoughts on this movie, and where do you want to see it go?
Look, my first thought. Look, I mean, spoilers, whatever. Whoever watching is good for you.
It came out last week.
Listen, the end of that movie when she gave him that thing, I was like, "Now what the hell are you gonna do with that?"
Yeah, I guess
I wouldn't even want that. Like, I wouldn't even. No, that's.
I don't think you can destroy it though.
Look, like Harry Potter did with the Elder Wand, he broke that shit through it. You need to do something with this thing. You cannot have this. If it get out or get back into some kind of system or something, it's a wrap. You cannot.
Well, that's why she gave it to him. She remember she said, "I only trust one person with this power, and it's you." So that's why she gave it to him.
They need to figure something to do to that. To get rid of it. Get rid of it.
I'm sure he will bury it in some place that no one will ever find it.
Listen, fuck bury it. They need to do some kind of something to it, some chemical reaction, something to it first before you bury it. That shit need to be like just disconnected, like for real. I was like, this is terrifying. This thing, it is scary because like as I was watching, I was like, okay, this get a little too real.
Yeah, it was Ultron. Yeah,
Calm down.
Ultron.
Like all these AIs we got going on right now, all these what's popping up. Now, do you know what if they all decide, you know what, let's get together, y'all. Like, ChatGPT, Claude, all these shits just come together like, you know what? We're going to take this motherfucker over. Gemini, look, that's terrifying to me. That's what that sounded. That's all I kept seeing in my head. I was like, I don't like this.
Says the tech guy. That's hilarious.
Look, the AI stuff is cool. It is. It's neat. But I'm just like, this is a little terrifying. And also I started thinking about Captain Marvel. That's why she killed the AI, to stop, to let the people be free. That's when she went to the planet.
Oh, you mean the Supreme Intelligence?
Yeah,
okay.
That was the AI. That was still an AI.
Be careful, because when you say AI, it's like that's technically what Ultron was. The Supreme Intelligence is like a being. That's like an alien being. Not necessarily like
it was still an AI that was controlling them, and they were all following it. The same concept of these crazy people in this movie that was like, look, sometimes the tech get a little too much. Listen, sometimes it get a little too much, a little above its business. I remember, my first time I ever got scared of tech was Smart House, when she was telling him what to do with his life. I said, okay, calm down. You're an AI. You are not my wife. Calm down. There's a certain time. It's interesting. This movie was great. The action was great. He does the craziest things. Every time I look at this stuff, I'm just like, is that really him doing that? Every time, because I don't know.
He shows you. He shows you. If you see any of his social medias or the behind the scenes, he's showing you every time. Hey, I'm trying to kill myself. Y'all watching?
The plane shit, the water shit. I was just sitting there like, oh my god. I love Smart House too, but that's the first time I ever saw something. AI would be like, oh, I'm gonna lock you in this goddamn house. You gonna listen to me? No. No. And then a lot of times Tex Screamer was in that Scream movie where he had the goddamn lock and listen.
Oh yeah.
Some of this
Yeah.
stuff is terrible. Like that's all I saw. My mind just start racing. I was like, look, tech is great. This not. I don't know. I don't know. This Haley was great. Tom Cruise was great. Luther, that was so sad. But why he let him still had a damn key right his neck when he had a goddamn hospital bed? Why would you leave that? Just...
I don't think he thought anyone knew where they were. Maybe he should have planned for that. I thought there was gonna be a big swerve at the end, like Luther comes out and it's like, oh shit, like. But when he didn't, I was just like, oh, okay, like, all right.
I was
okay.
like, damn, you left it like I did that part. That was one. I think that was like the one thing I was like, that was dumb to leave the thing that you needed still around his neck, or didn't take it with you. He gave it to you to kill it. Why would you leave it down there? Then you gotta go get it for this time.
Right.
I don't know. President got a hard ass job. I'll tell you that in this. At least we, had some obvious sense in here, but there's no here nor there. But but I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was a lot of fun, a lot of stress. Tom Cruise need to go rest somewhere.
Nah, he working on that next.
That's
movie,
after that water shit. That water shit. I was holding my breath with him. I said, bro, this is ridiculous. When that damn shit kept rocking every time I turned, and one of them damn bombs, I said, oh my god, when is this over? When we getting out this goddamn ship? Hurry up, get out! I'm tired now. This took on too long. Oh god, that was stressful. That part was worse than the goddamn planes for me. Oh, this is
That's
ridiculous. But yeah.
I will say, after seeing how Christopher's done these last 3 or 4 movies, I wouldn't mind for Christopher to give James Gunn a call. I'd love for him to do something with maybe The Question. I love his ability to take something like this and kind of make. Because think about it, I've never really truly felt like Mission Impossible was a thriller till this shit. Like this felt like a thriller. So I'm like, I love the Trayvon. That shit scene alone. It was just fucking.
I feel like he do shit like that every
intense.
movie. It was the most intense I've seen in this one. But I feel like he's done crazy shit before. Like
crazy shit's not my issue. This was just, I kept telling you there were 8 different times where I'm just like, I know how a body works. Yeah. This motherfucker about to die down here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it was, and again, you kind of know in the back of your head, like, obviously he's not. There's so much more to do, but. I don't know, man. I'm like, fuck it. You might die and bring him back. I don't know. Like this, do crazy shit.
You know what's funny? Like it's feel like every time I want to know his training because he's probably like, okay. It's like it's got to be some stipulation. Like I have to run in the movie somewhere. I have to run really hard in the movie somewhere.
That's not
right. I gotta run. To that part where he kept talking to Luther, I was like, you don't get your ass. like he kept standing there talking. I was like. You want to die? Move. And I was like, of course.
He ran so much. I kept right before he was going to start running, just like, run, Barry. Run. And then this motherfucker
crazy.
Was booking.
I was like, you stood out here talking? You see this big ass bomb in front of you?
Hey, when you can run as fast as Tom Cruise, why not?
Look.
You got time to spare.
This is what would have happened with me. I came down there. Luther, love you, bro. I was left right there. Wow. I'm sorry. I can't stand it. After I saw that bomb, I can't. Look. Okay. Oh, I would have shook the shit a little bit. Can I open it? Can I? No. Nothing I can do.
Damn.
So sorry.
I don't have no words for you.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I can't. You don't want me to sit out here blow it with you? Like, I go.
Well, no, I don't want you to do that. But I mean, at least see if I got any parting words or something.
Parting words with seconds counting? No.
I gotta go. Well, you won't be my phone call.
Calling me to a bomb?
Yeah, what? Man. You're nerd with the tech. If there's anyone I'm calling, it's you. Are you crazy?
If it really was this scenario, I'd probably be the place to Luther. And they're screaming and crying. I won't be able to do shit.
No.
I won't be able to do shit.
Hold on, Joel.
I'll be losing my goddamn mind.
Are we just gonna let Trayvon sit here and lie? Ain't no fucking way Trayvon would say, all right, y'all about to just lose half of Italy. I ain't about to just stay here with this shit. Like, fuck that.
Well, he couldn't get out though. That was the point.
No, but that's true. But Luther, even being in that situation, you would not have been in that situation.
Oh, absolutely not. I had someone with a locked door around me. Absolutely not. I would not be laying in an open area like that. Hell no.
You know what? When you start talking like this, you're nerd with the theories because you have so many theories to create for yourself to make sure you don't end up in situations.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
So again, you wouldn't be down there with Luther.
I would not. No.
But again, I know that I now can't ask nerd with the tech to do tech shit. Tom, that boy gonna run.
Listen, every movie.
I'm gonna run.
Every movie get accused of being a crook, and every movie he run at least.
Yep. There's two Hollywood superstars we know have clauses in their contracts. It's The Rock to never lose a fight, and it's Tom Cruise to run. Run and the ability to try to kill himself. That's the most important one, even above running. He's like, you gotta let me try to die. Like that's number one. And if I live, let me run.
Has he posted anything about the water thing?
I'm sure he has. I'm sure
they've
done like behind the scenes or everything like
that. I need some deep behind the scenes of that.
All you're gonna get is just Tom Cruise telling you, "Hey, I tried to die today. This is what it looked like." That's pretty much it.
It made me think of the Also, I'll say one more thing.
Yeah,
it made me think of the Lawrence. Wow, I said Lawrence. Wow. Florence. Phew. When she talked about how she had to jump off the second tallest building in the world or whatever. Yeah. And they told her she couldn't do it. Right. And then she said she wanted to. They're both nuts. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I
don't disagree. Ain't no way I do a stunt like that and I come home and see a Rotten Tomato score like 70. Bitch, hey, I almost died.
Who the fuck run that shit? Who the fuck run it?
That shit better hover around 100. I almost died today for y'all entertainment. 70 my ass. Must be out your goddamn mind. Load the clip. All right, Joel. Your thoughts on this movie?
I really liked it a lot. I thought it lived up to its name in more ways than one. Especially that fucking boat scene. The submarine shit was crazy because I was on edge the whole time. Because it felt like it got progressively worse as he went along. And that's what made me feel like this is the last one, because I feel like it just got worse so he can get past it. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And he made it worse for himself. It got worse. It just got, I'm like, this is terrible. How's he going to make it to the top? He's going to freeze to death before he gets, and he did basically freeze to death before he got up there. And that was the plan. That was the plan, My plan was never here, whatever. That was fucking hysterical. I never expected your submarine to save me, sir.
No. Remember, no. You're right, but be more specific. He had planned on being in that suit as he went back up into the water.
That's fair.
It was only once things went wrong that it was just like, all right, well, I always did know that I would have that thing, that chamber to put myself in.
I mean,
if need be.
At the end of the day, he was going to be in that chamber. It just wasn't going to be in the submarine. Right. He just didn't expect to be suitless, so he did it. But that's why it's even crazy, because he fucking took the suit off. He had no oxygen on the way up either. So it's like, all right, he's just going to die.
But one thing I will say, Joel, that I'm sure you'll appreciate is from Mission Impossible 1 all the way to Mission Impossible 8, one thing I really appreciate that Tom Cruise and Christopher did was the missions did seem extremely impossible as you went to each movie. Because think about it, the biggest impossible thing in the first one was the whole you got to get in the most impenetrable building to retrieve the information. That was the most impossible thing, right? And then you think to now, you got to not die in the water, not die in the air, not die in the bunker, you know what I'm saying? Like, it became even more impossible for this final movie. So I'm like, I appreciate that it really, truly lived up to its name. Because from the moment the movie started, you were kind of thinking to yourself, he might die. He might die. Like, the mission seemed incredibly impossible. So I very much appreciated it.
For a normal person,
that
that's
standpoint.
impossible. That man is not normal.
Right. Amen to that. No fucking way I want to do any of that shit. Joel, do you want to see, like, do you want a break from this franchise? Do you want a reboot? Do you want a continuation but a different
I don't need a
lead?
break, but if they want to say this is the end, I'll be fine. Just like with John Wick, if that last movie was the end, I would have been fine with that. But if they want to continue, I'm not gonna say no.
No, but I'm saying, if it's not Tom Cruise, are you interested in another lead?
If I would love, if it isn't Tom Cruise, I would like to see them try to figure out a way to. It's always hard to pass the torch because you got to live up to Tom fucking Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind seeing them try. Mission Impossible lives with whoever's next. That'd be pretty cool. I would not be against that.
Yeah, you just gotta. It's gonna depend more so on the director than the actor for me, because I'm sure when Tom Cruise said, "Hey, let me hang off of a plane that high in the air with just my legs," I'm sure it takes a very disciplined director to be able to say, "All right, you know what? I got your back. Let's go to the studio and tell them you want to try to die for both air and sea, right? I got you." So I'm like, you got to get a director that will see the vision. Again, you don't need an actor to do those things. It's what stunt doubles are for. But you just need to be smart enough and creative enough to create a concept. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to be the one to choose the next one.
Right. Like for example, if in this next Fast and Furious, they end it, right? And they want to do Fast and Furious again in 15 years from now. To me, it's like you have a very high bar. You know what I'm saying? You might have to start that movie from, like, I don't know, rescuing Dom from what do they call it? When you're not in heaven or hell, you're in
Limbo.
Limbo. Yeah, you got to rescue Dom from Limbo, right? And the only way to do it is to beat a demon in a race. But you might have to do some crazy ass shit like that just to bring back the franchise. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be curious to see how they elevate the franchise, because that's the only way you can continue it or even reboot it. You got to elevate it. So I'd be curious to see how they do that. But yeah, like I said, Mission Impossible, loved it. Great job to Tom Cruise. Hopefully it's not the last one, because I love this team so much. I love what Tom and Christopher were able to do with this movie. But if it is, like Joel said, this is a fitting way to end it. So can't necessarily complain all that much. Next movie, Tom has outrun death itself.
Listen.
Yeah, you know what you got to do? You know what you got to do, DJV? Remember in what was the Justice League Doom? Remember Batman's contingency for Barry is the thing on his wrist, and if he stops running, his body explodes. You got to do some shit like that for Tom Cruise. Like, he got to keep running or his body will explode. That has to be like the premise of some crazy.
He ain't been in space yet, right?
No, but he did want to do a movie about him in space, so God bless. But all right, let's move on. Speaking of action franchises, The Ballerina comes out next week. And
next week?
Next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with it coming out next week, John Wick, the franchise, their Twitter page was nice enough to let us know where Ballerina takes place in the world of John Wick. It is right after 3. It's between 3 and 4. So that's awesome to know exactly where it takes place. I appreciate them doing that. I'm curious how this movie is going to go. I hope people come out and support it. Because I'd love to see them make a side franchise with her. The trailers look awesome. I'm very excited to see this movie. Joel, you probably already knew it took place between 3 and 4.
I didn't, but I imagine that doesn't seem off, considering where they are, the way the movies end up. I mean,
right?
Because 1 and 2 are like right next to each other.
Well, yeah, it's literally carrying right up where. Yeah.
Right.
No. I think you're thinking 2 and 3. Because remember, 1. Yeah, it's 2 and 3. You're thinking. Yeah, 2 and 3.
One led right into the other. I was like,
right. Yeah. 2 went right into.
It was still running.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because when you said that, I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, no, because 2 starts with him getting his car back. So I'm like, that's not right as 1 ends.
It's almost like it never stopped.
Yes, you are right. I will give you that though. You are right. Jamie said she's gonna be late, so I kind of wanted to hold off for The Last of Us till Jamie gets here. So we don't have to repeat anything. But I have plenty of stuff for us to talk about. So let's talk about this. Actually, we'll wait for Jamie for that too, because that's game related. Trayvon, I did see what you said about Thor, Chris Hemsworth doing like a Thor legacy thing. That's pretty much Thor's way of, even though he ends it with saying "See you in Doomsday," that's Thor's way of saying, "Hey, y'all still love me, right? In case I want to do like Thor 5, like y'all forgave me for Love and Thunder, right?" Yes, we did, Chris.
That was never his fault. I never blamed him.
No.
I blame one person.
No, I blame. Chris Hemsworth to me
one person.
Shares that. Here's why he shares it. Remember, it was him saying they needed to alter Thor heading into Ragnarok, to which we got a different Thor in Ragnarok. So I'm like, you can't give him the credit when it's a good idea to change, but then when they do stupid shit and he just went with it. You know what I'm saying? Chris Hemsworth is too big of a star to just go with some shit. So he shares some.
Nope.
But that's just your blind love for him. But anyway, I'm very excited for that. Lust. Sorry, lust.
It might be both. It depends on if you come up to me.
No, it's lust. It's only lust. Joel's right. I'm very excited for this. So the reason why I bring this up is, Joel, we talked about this ad nauseum. So Trayvon, I'm gonna start with you. I want to know your thoughts. Mm-hmm. What would you want the concept of a Thor 5 to be? You can pick a plot if you want to add a character in, a tone. Like, what would you want Thor 5 to be, ideally?
I don't know. Start out with him fighting Hercules at first. I don't know. Then the Awakening, I don't know. Him, like... I wish we didn't see Zeus. Because I just don't see him as a threat at all. Based on the version we got. I just don't... I'm like, well, is there an Ares? But one that's threatening. Because right now, Ares I don't feel like Zeus felt very. Thor could beat you. Like it just how it felt. I didn't feel anything. I was like, Hercules like he could fight him, but Zeus didn't look like that. I was like, I need to know how the other one was looking because I was like, it would be nice to him fighting other gods or whatever. The only one that I see right now, technically Hercules, that's the only one I can see him fighting. If they all like Zeus, I'm all right.
Remember, this is you creating your concept, so it could be a serious ass movie if that's what you want.
Not serious ass movie, just serious fighters, or a threat.
Yeah,
the guys actually being threats.
But doesn't have to be Taika's version, it could be your version.
Yeah, that's why I gave you the keys. I want you to give me what your concept would be.
Yeah, that was really my main problem. Like I didn't know anything about gore, so it was like I only knew based on what you guys have told me. I was like, okay, I understand where he should have been different, but he didn't bother me as much. Zeus bothered me more than that. I was like, my idea of a Zeus was not that. I was like,
it's the same thing. I was telling someone before is that all the problems everyone has with that movie. Mine began before the trailer even dropped. When I saw the toy of Gore the God Butcher,
I remember you saying that.
That told me everything. I didn't even see the movie, and I knew I was going in with 50% of me hating it already. Like just off the look of Gore, and then their explanation as to why Gore looked like that was even more bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just like I didn't even get a chance to get to that point of like. Sitting in the by the time I sat in the movie, I'm just like, Joel had already calmed me down for my hate of the look of Gore. There was nothing in that movie that could have upset me more than that. So everything else was just par for the course. Everything else was just like, fuck it. Whatever.
I was like, this is Christian Bale. For me, it was like Christian Bale. They're gonna show him as much as they can. You're gonna recognize him. That's how it felt. So when all the other stuff happened, the two things that in the movie I was just like. I hate this so much. When I saw Zeus and when the goddamn things kept screaming, I was like,
I love the goat.
This was too much.
Yeah, the goats were cool the first, when they were first introduced.
Yeah.
But then it kind of felt like
I
All
was
right,
like,
you're
oh
just
my
beating
god.
this drum too much. Like,
And
we get it.
maybe
We
this
get it.
Shazam thing he did too. That was a little much too. I was like, this is cute. This is
Joel
cute.
hated that.
I hate
It was cute.
Wait,
But
Javon,
I
can
was
I say
like,
this? Can I say this?
I was okay.
Nothing brought me more joy than to know how miserable that movie made me until that point. And then Joel's like, I hate this. And I'm just sitting there like, I kind of dig it. I'm not against it. I kind of like it.
It was
I
like
mean,
it
look,
was cute.
think about it. By
It's
that
like-
point of the movie, you have to, at that point, just let go of the fact that this is a fucking silly mess.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm
was-
just like, fuck it. All right, cool. It's awesome.
That was
cool.
a cherry on top for me, though. That was.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it? I tolerated the whole movie until that point. I was like, whatever. And then that happened. Like, what is this?
I mean,
no,
Dottie,
go ahead,
you
Trevor.
know,
Sorry.
I mean, you know, he always said whoever, you know, has the hammer,
I
has the
mean, I
power of Thor.
understand. Just don't
I get the idea, but it's like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't like it. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, I didn't like the movie. I didn't like. Oh, I hate it so much.
I don't
No,
hate the
it wasn't
movie.
that.
I just don't like that.
Yeah.
At least I don't like that stuff.
No, I hate that movie vehemently.
I don't hate the movie.
Yeah, no, for me it would be you know, to piggyback off of you, it'd be about Battle of the Gods. But it would be about Zeus raining terror on other planets to get Thor's attention. Right? So in one of those planets would be Beta Ray Bills. And then it leads to Thor and Beta Ray Bill teaming up. Even though visually I'm gonna hate it if it ever does happen, seeing Beta Ray Bill with that big ass fucking hammer, or axe hammer, whatever you want to call it, big as fuck for no reason.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker, but yes, Stormbreaker. So that would be awesome. Seeing the two of those guys back to back fighting the gods. I think that has blockbuster written all over it. You know.
I like the sound of it.
I even know who I would cast for Beta Ray Bill.
We could just like undo us seeing Zeus that way. I'm with you.
No. You don't have to keep Zeus jokey like that. Again, Zeus. That was the tone of what Taika did.
Fucking head on. I was like, come on.
You could easily rectify that. Because think about it. When you watch Thor 1 and 2, look how devoid of color it is compared to Ragnarok. So obviously, you could take the same characters, but tonally and visually change them. You know what I'm saying? So
he could get serious. He could be like, all right, you know what?
I mean, you cast Russell Crowe as Zeus. You could 100% get serious with that.
He was more serious in the post credits too.
Exactly. That was the most serious you saw in anyone in that whole movie.
Could have waited skipping across that goddamn thing before. I was like,
I would give it. So the casting I want for Beta Ray Bill. You guys remember that orc movie that Will Smith did? I can't remember what it's called. Remember the actor that played the orc cop next to Will Smith? Edgerton? Yes, I'd cast him as Beta Ray Bill. Because we've already seen that he can be heavily disguised, and that voice still comes through very well. Now, I know what Joel's going to say. He doesn't like the height, because obviously he'd be shorter than Chris Hemsworth.
To me, it wouldn't be makeup. Probably
right. It'd be CGI, right. That's why part of me is kind of just like, I think, because I'm just thinking of someone that could command it enough to where they're not trying to force us to see his face. You know what I'm saying?
Hard to miss that face. That's
they're
a big
not
part
gonna,
of that character.
Right, exactly. So
they already showed him in the arena.
They did, yeah, in Ragnarok. So that's what I would want is to go in that direction. And to give us Beta Ray Bill and Thor, man, that'd be awesome. Joel, where would you like to see Thor go from? Go from here.
I don't have a specific storyline in mind, or even villain for that matter. But I just want to see Beta Ray Bill and the return of Hercules. So even if it's like Hercules chasing him down throughout the galaxy for revenge, I'm fine with that. I just want to see they teased him. I want to see him, and I want to see Beta Ray Bill. I'm fine with that. And if they want to introduce her Ares, who could be more of a villain, even though he was kind of a hero for a while there. Again.
Yeah, but they could always alter that, mainly because if Kevin in his 30-year plan of the MCU does not have a long-term goal for Ares, just make him a villain. But just make him badass.
Ares is badass.
In whatever you show him in that movie.
Ares is badass, that's for sure. That would be fun to see that. I mean, there's so much there to mine if they want to go there. Those two characters, I just want to see those two characters. Better Ray Bill, finally, and of course, you showed me her because you can't take her away now. I gotta see her.
Right. And what I would hope that they do, even though I know that they probably won't, part of me needs this movie to at least 70% be just Thor and Beta Ray Bill. I don't need Thor and Valkyrie and Korg and I just want to see Thor and Beta Ray Bill just going at it. Those two guys growing their relationship to become friends. I want to see that, and then allowing Beta Ray Bill, because if you want to go the route of his home gets destroyed, his world gets destroyed, New Asgard is now his new home. I'd love to see that. And if you want to do something with Valkyrie and Korg, do like what is that? The Marvel? What's the thing they're doing with the Punisher? That they did with Werewolf.
Spotlight.
Do a spotlight of like New Asgard, where you're doing something with Korg and Valkyrie. But I don't need to see all of them. I just want to see Thor and Beta Ray Bill doing some cool ass, dope ass shit with hammers. That's all I want to see.
Hey, Korg is married last time I checked.
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right?
Yeah, with The Rock. So with Dwayne, that's right.
Right.
His name was Dwayne.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm fine with Dwayne and Korg living life in New Asgard, and obviously Valkyrie's the king of New Asgard, so she's busy anyway. So yeah, just Thor and Beta Ray Bill will be fine. And
I will say this, Joy, even though I'm gonna sound like a fucking hypocrite, I wouldn't mind Lady Sif, only because I never thought she was done right. I never thought that team was done right. I wouldn't mind if it's Lady Sif and Thor with Beta Ray Bill. I wouldn't be against.
I wouldn't mind Sif, but I also wouldn't mind if she stayed down with Valkyrie.
No problem.
I just want her to have because she lost her arm. I want her to have what they gave Thor.
Yes.
I'm
with you there. Yeah, I'm with you there. Even though I don't know where they would have gotten it, because it would have been destroyed in Asgard, I would have assumed. So I'd be interested to see what they used instead.
One destroyer, I imagine.
Yeah. Oh wait, no! I'm sorry, I'm lying. Didn't it get defeated on Earth in New Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be somewhere on Earth. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. So this kind of stressed me out a little bit because I guess just the timing of it. But the Penguin showrunner Lauren LaFranc says that other spinoffs for the Batman are in early stages of development, and they've also been, spitballing back and forth about what a season 2 of the Penguin would be. This only frustrates me because until I have in concrete a Batman 2, I don't give a fuck about anything else from this world. Nothing. Not a fucking peep. I need to see Batman. I want to see nothing else. Batman. Start there. Once I see Batman again, and guess what? Do a fucking show about that one cop, the Hispanic cop from the first Batman movie. Do a series about him. I don't give a fuck. But until then, stop giving me spinoffs for a universe you're barely building. Give me another Batman movie, then do whatever you want. Officer Martinez, I think was his name. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. But stop giving me news until the Batman 2 is in development and filming. Then I don't care. Do what you want. Do what you want. Now, I know it won't be as aggressive, but Joel, you please tell me you're kind of where I am with this.
Not as worried. You seem to be worried.
No, not worried. I just don't want to keep hearing about next steps.
I don't care. If they want to tell me other things they want to do, I'm not going to tell them shut up. I'm curious what else they would like to expand to, because they're in the process of. Yeah, they should have gotten the script this week. That's what we heard, right? They're going to be here in Memorial Day. So if that's the case, then we're on the right track. We should start filming early next year. That's all you could do. We know when it's filming. Now, as long as that stays on track, I'm fine, But again, that's also separate. Like whoever, if Lauren wants to work on shit separate from the movie, because obviously Matt Reeves working on Batman, and she can work on whatever separated. That's double dipping. That's cool. I mean, that means you don't have to wait as long for whenever the spinoff is after the Batman 2 is done, and I'm fine with that as long as he's overseas at the end of the day, and that's less work than actually writing it because he didn't write Penguins. You know what I mean? And he probably has ideas of which characters he wants to see have a spinoff. Anyway, if that's what they want to do, I don't care if they do or don't do it. I enjoy Penguin, so I wouldn't mind seeing another spinoff with a different character. And I like you. I do want to see the sequel. That's it. We're at that point. Like, they moved it back a year another time. Like, we gotta wait forever for this movie. So I've lost patience enough. But I'm also, so I hear it's canceled. I'm not as worried.
Okay, I'll save my response to after Trayvon gives his thoughts. Where are you at with this, Trayvon?
I feel like it is canceled. They're just not gonna tell us after Superman. I've said this many times. That's how I feel is happening right now. They're like, we can't do it yet. After Superman comes out and it's been successful, after a few weeks, the Batman's done. That's what I feel like they're gonna tell us. And that's whatever. But so for me, the show I wanted anyway was the Catwoman show. Mm-hmm. I wanted a show about her going Bloodhaven. She's going right.
Yeah.
Like I want to see her there. I would love a show about that and see what she does there. Mm-hmm. I like the character. I like the character Catwoman anyway. So I was like, that's the show I wanted anyway. So if they do a show, that would be a great one, in my opinion. Yeah. that's all I got about this franchise. Cause I like the first one. It's just so long ago. Like 2022. They're talking about this next one might be 2027. You got Superman, Supergirl, all this stuff going on in this new universe, and you want to do another Batman. I think it's getting too close. It's getting too close at this point. Like we should have this movie a year or two ago at this point. Now you get a little too close where I feel like sure you can run them both at the same time if you want to, I guess. Merge it. For me, it's merge or cancel. That's how I feel about it right now. Merge or cancel. Do not have two of them. That's just how I feel about it. But I also feel like the Batman is too grounded to work based on what we've seen from Superman so far.
Or just that world so far.
Yeah, well, that too. It just doesn't look like it could work. I remember that little thing in the Superman trailer. Everybody saw the flood thing, but then everybody realized, no, they're just talking about the flood in the trailer that you saw, not the Batman. Yeah. What happened to the Batman?
Right.
So it's just like that would have been like, I feel like even if they did try to merge them, people would just accept it. They were like, all right, fine, they're merging them, even though the worlds don't match. We're gonna still let it do it.
You'd have to sell the fuck out of that for me. I'd probably fight that till the moment I walk into the theater. Yeah, no, I mean, for me, like I said, I'm not as extreme in the idea of thinking it's on hold until after anything. I don't think you should ever play Russian roulette with yourself like that. My bigger issue is just the fact that people's argument has always been, well, James is waiting to see what Matt Reeves is going to do before he moves forward with his Batman. And the thing that angers me, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, is it keeps feeling like that. Because there's just no way you're telling me you created this timeline, right? Mm-hmm. And in your opening timeline, you've had 5 projects before we even get to a Batman movie?
Yeah.
Like, that just sounds like that's just the easiest way to help kick launch your fucking universe is Superman, Batman. It doesn't have to be right after each other. Supergirl can obviously be right in between, but to not at least have a casting or at least a forward progression of it kind of does feel like maybe you're waiting for Matt Reeves. So that's where it's just a little frustrating, but he's saying one has nothing to do with the other. So I don't know this man to be a liar, so I'll take him at his word. But the longer we wait, it is just...
You don't?
You're making that face for?
No, I do not.
What? Okay. I don't know James Gunn. I don't know him to be a liar. I don't know him.
I feel like he's lied a few times so far, but hey.
I don't know what they are. I don't know what the lies are. You'd have to tell me. I don't know, to be honest with you.
I feel okay. What I feel like is going to happen is Superman will come out. It'll be out for a few weeks. Comic-Con will happen. We'll get the new Batman casting, and that's when they'll tell us the Batman is done. That's what I feel like. That's what I think is going to happen. Maybe that's not
You
ideal.
sound so hopeful when you say it. By the way, like if you were trying to not sound like super excited, you're not doing it. You sound like that's what you want.
I like fantastical stuff more than anything. So, look, get me to Poison Ivy and shit like that right away.
Yeah.
Get me to that.
You're not gonna find. You're not gonna. We're not gonna disagree with you. I'm just saying, if he wants to do both, I don't care. I just don't want to go year what? You said 2022 was the last time.
2022.
Right?
Yep.
I don't want to keep going years and years and not having a Batman project. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I only accepted the Penguin because I thought it was going to be answered with a Batman movie, and I'm still waiting. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what's just driving me insane. So, as long as I get to Batman, I don't care how I get to him. I just need Batman. This is fucking driving me crazy. And not even to mention that, like, because it feels like this is a very cohesive universe, and I'm just so... I'm so determined to get into it with Superman and Peacemaker and everything. I'm now starting to get itchy on Wonder Woman. Like, give me Wonder Woman now. All right? Shit, I know I'm getting greedy. But shit, you know? Give us our Holy Trinity, you know? So, like I said, I'm not of the mindset you need to get rid of one to do the other. He says that Elseworlds have a place in his world.
He did.
So that's fine. Elseworlds can. It just shouldn't feel like it's at the expense of your continuity. And that's what it's starting to feel like. So if at San Diego Comic-Con he shuts me the fuck up, I will gladly sit back, shut the fuck up, and go, my bad, dog. You was right. We got our Batman, our director, and what Matt Reeves is still doing his thing. I'll gladly shut the fuck up. But till then, James Gunn, do something, motherfucker. Should have got off the pot. That's all I'm saying.
Now shit early though.
You said what, Joel?
There's a reason you don't announce shit early.
Yeah, for that yes, you are not wrong. For that exact reason.
Revival with Sergeant Rock, he never officially announced it ever, and it got pushed.
Right.
And he never said anything.
Right.
That's why he didn't say nothing. He's like, well, nothing was official yet.
Right. And what happened to what's the other movie that Trayvon wanted? With the group,
Authority.
The Authority. Yeah.
And that's just taking longer because apparently.
Well, no, he said that was pushed back, right?
He said it's on hold, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, to me, I consider that pushback.
Okay. It's in the same place that Swamp Thing is. Well, Swamp Thing is waiting for a specific person to come work on it, whereas Authority, they're still trying to work out how to work it out.
Right. Yeah. So look, like I said, this is not me saying I'm losing faith in James or the ship is sinking. I'm just saying that this is my guy. Is Batman. So I'm like, all this Superman, Supergirl, Green Lantern shit, amazing. Can't wait to inhale it. Where the fuck is Batman?
I feel like
he, dog?
At the end of the day, what all that matters here is Superman needs to be very successful. That's all. That's the end of the day. That's it.
But when you say that, I think here's my issue with
it will
with
be
you
though.
saying
It will
that.
be.
I just had this conversation earlier today. Is that when people say a movie didn't do well, my issue with that is do well. How do you mean do well? Because if the movie covered its budget, or at least doubled its budget, that is good. But if you're talking about it's a Marvel movie,
Superman movie?
No. Hear me. I'm just about to get to my point. If you're telling me a Marvel movie doesn't gross $1 billion, that's not a failure. If you're telling me that its budget was $200 million and it made $500 million, that's not a failure. You know what I'm saying? But for a Superman movie, what is your height? Like, what does it have to hit? Because the Batman did what? 500 million, I think it did?
750, I think.
Oh, 750? Okay. Most people would be like, oh, well, where's the 800? Where's it not? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? What is your range of it has to be a success?
It is 772.3.
Okay, there you go. So that's what I'm saying. It's somewhat a blanket statement to say it has to be. What do you measure success in? Like, it has to critically be a hit. It has to financially
It
be
needs
a
to
hit.
make this at least.
Well, here's my thing, Trayvon. Joel, that's why I'm glad. I was walking Trayvon into this mousetrap.
It
You ready?
does.
Now watch what I do here. Let me ask you this, Trayvon.
Uh-huh.
From what you know of the internet,
Uh-huh.
was Captain Marvel received well?
What do you mean?
Did critics and people alike give that movie great reviews?
No.
Okay. That fucking movie grossed $1 billion.
Because
So
it was
what
in between. It was in between Avengers movies.
None of that
That's
matters.
why.
So what is success to you?
She
Because
still
if it
hated to
grosses
this
$1
point.
billion and people hate it, is that not still a success?
That depends on this. Well, no, okay now. DC is a different studio. We see how they act.
You
with
moving
stuff.
the goalposts, Trayvon.
No, but they're different studio. You see how they react to things. They're
then
different.
you got to tell me, what is your version of success? What is the
It needs
success
to
that
make
needs to hit?
it made at least.
I
It needs
just
to make
asked
it.
you if it makes $1 billion, is that not a success?
It should be.
Any
Yeah.
movie that hits
Yes.
is a success.
So that's what I'm
The
saying.
franchise should keep forward if that happens. Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's relative when you say it needs to be successful.
I don't think it needs to make $1 billion.
I don't.
No,
think
no,
it
no,
needs
no,
to make
no,
that-
no, 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 no.
That's not what I'm
I'm
saying,
only
but-
saying that. I'm only saying that in relative to the point I was making on Captain Marvel. I'm not putting that as its
Because you also
as
love
its goal.
But they are not. But you can't put the. See, you can't say Captain Marvel and Superman. They aren't. The popularity is not the same.
They
No,
are.
that's not what I'm comparing. I'm
But you know
comparing
what?
the fact.
You do know what
Go
you
ahead,
could
go ahead.
compare?
One's hated, one's loved.
Hold on. Captain Marvel was the first time you saw her, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was also at the height of Marvel. That's what pushed it to $1 billion. Not just
Yeah.
Captain Marvel by herself. It was
Right.
Marvel at its
Because
peak.
it's in between Avengers movies.
That's what I mean. It's at the height of Marvel at its best, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This Superman movie is coming off. It's DC at its worst. You know what I mean? It's coming out at its worst. The last they had 4 movies in a row. They all fucking did terribly at the box office because of it was all bad aura, all of it,
Mm.
and not all of them were bad, but they didn't deserve to all suck. But they all did. They all got bad box office, but a lot of it because people were done with that. That's why the whole year. It's why they needed the year off. They definitely did. And they needed this movie to look different because they didn't want it to feel the same as what it was before because they needed something new because people were tired of what was, That sucks, but true. So, that's why it feels like it will succeed because it feels different enough where it's like, all right, man, it's just something. It finally feels like something new and it's not DC of old. Now, but again, it's coming off at a very low point for DC, whereas
Right.
Captain Marvel was at a high for Marvel.
You're not wrong at all. But the only reason why I use that comparison wasn't to compare Captain Marvel and Superman. I was comparing the fact that
Also,
when you say something has to be successful, it was not reviewed well, but grossed $1 billion. To a studio, that is a success. They don't give a fuck what critics say.
Well,
A billion people went to go see that movie.
it wasn't poor. It wasn't poor though.
No. It wasn't poor, but it was not enough for you to assume that shit was going to hit $1 billion.
No, but it wasn't rotten. That's what I'm saying.
No, not at all. I'm not saying like this shit was trash. I'm saying when you hear how people speak about that movie, and then you go look and see that it made $1 billion, those two things don't make sense. So I'm saying it depends on what your level of success is.
That's
If
riding
it's
the
just
wave.
money making, then Superman's gonna make money. That's nothing
Superman
to worry
will
about.
always make money. It's just a
That's
matter
my
of how much.
point.
Just like Batman, it will always make money. Just how much money?
Now
Superman
you're getting
alone,
my point. So then,
Superman-
what is your definition of success? Does it have to be reviewed well, or do you just look for it to make money?
Reviews
If you're
don't
Warner
care. They don't
Brothers,
care about
you
reviews.
just need it to make money. So
It's
that's
about
my
money.
point to you, Trayvon,
To me,
is that it is not dependent, because if you're James Gunn, there is a reason you started with Superman as opposed to the easiest moneymaker in Hollywood history, Batman. You started with Superman because you knew it was a movie that could generate money, and you could make it as personal and is whatever you wanted it to be, because Superman off name is gonna make money.
How
You know
much
what I'm saying?
did Man of Steel?
Oh, that's a good question.
And then look how much Superman Returns made. Because those are the last 2 solo Superman movies.
Yes.
It says Man of Steel made $667.99 million.
How much
Mhm.
did Superman Returns make?
Wait, is that right?
What's it say?
391 million.
That might be right.
I mean, inflation though. Okay, gotta look at that.
Oh,
That was
That might be right. That might be right, buddy.
that's what it says. I mean,
That might be right.
But you
What
gotta,
year did that movie come out in?
Yeah, it's like 20. What was it?
What does it say, Trayvon?
It wasn't that far.
2010?
Was it? I forget.
2000. Wait, that's not right. 2006.
Might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 2006.
There you go. So that at the time.
And remember,
The
Superman
budget was
Returns.
204 too.
And think about this.
Maybe
Here's the
more.
difference with Superman Returns as opposed to Man of Steel. Think about how much time between the last Superman movie to Superman Returns.
Yeah.
That was an extremely long time for a movie that was extremely underwhelming. So I give it a little bit of grace. I give that a grace, but Man of Steel is a better representation of what you're saying, Joel.
Well, I'm trying to see. Hold on.
Oh.
I'm just trying to compare. So if that made 391 at the box office, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
In comparison to, let's say, Batman Begins at the time, how much does that mean?
Let me see.
Because that's around the same time. Because that was 08, right?
Yeah, 08. No. Because 08 was the same year as The Dark Knight.
Batman Begins was only 373.4
So there you
million.
go. So that's in comparison with.
Right.
It was actually made that. It made more.
Right.
Yeah.
And we saw the gangbusters numbers that Dark Knight made.
As it should.
And look how much money. Honestly, even though BVS got panned, it made a lot of money. It just didn't make $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Batman versus
like I
Superman
said,
should have made $1 billion, but it did. You know.
Right. But my whole point of all
Oh, the
that,
Dark Knight
Trayvon,
did do $1 billion. Okay.
Oh hell
sure
yeah!
did. Yeah.
Oh
sure
hell
did.
yeah!
Remember, Trayvon, there was a point
They
where
deserve.
I
I probably helped with
fighting. I think Batman historically was fighting neck to neck with Harry Potter at that point for like highest grossing movies of all time. I think one of the Harry Potters was going up against it.
BVS made 874. So imagine.
Yeah, see,
And
close.
I got panned.
Right, close. So that's all I'm saying. Success. You saying it needs to be successful is relative, compared to what the situation is.
The closest thing you could compare it to is the Batman, and that made 7 something. So something in that ballpark to be successful, in my opinion.
I'm sorry. YN Swiper?
You know what it is. That's what the streets call me. I didn't choose this name. The streets chose it for me.
We gotta get Jamie out of New York, bro. We gotta get Jamie out of New York. I don't even know what that. What?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck is happening?
Southern Jamie was never giving us this. I don't know what this is.
Big
I like it.
She's like,
medium money, Jamie.
medium money in her pillowcase. That's all the medium money.
Right. That's all she can fit in the home, but
Yeah.
bank account
Her
wise,
suitcase
big
is
money.
carried
Jamie.
around as medium.
Right. Anyway, Jamie, I wanted to wait for you before we did The Last of Us. I didn't want to do it without you.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the delay. It's been a long day.
You're fine. We were talking about the movies we saw and stuff, so you're good.
We will be able to come back till next week. I should get out here.
Jamie is different now. Jamie scares me all the time. Sometimes I have to mute her on TikTok because some of them posts be iffy, man.
And listen, the last one wasn't about me, though.
Oh, no. I don't know what's going on over there.
I was just observing the world. That's what it was.
Jamie's on some other type stuff over there.
Observing the world.
Jamie's on some craziness. But anyway, let's get into The Last of Us. Obviously, we weren't here last week, so if you guys have anything you want to say about last week and this week, floor is yours. I'm going to focus on just this week. Keep it short and sweet. I enjoyed it very much. Some of it felt kind of rushed in the sense of I had to remember where in the game certain of these things took place. Like, wait a minute.
Every time.
I'm like, wait, was this here or was this here? Like, I'm like, fucking, was it Minority Report with Tom Cruise and all the like screens and shit? I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me try to. Okay, this is this. So that bothered me just a little bit, but I'm not gonna hold it against it because I kind of felt like it did the same thing in season 1, and I don't think I complained about that in season 1. So not gonna hold that against them at all. I will say this: I was wrong about what the cliffhanger would be, but Joel, they ended on a cliffhanger. That was what I was preaching, like episode 3, like end that shit on a cliffhanger. But I thought the cliffhanger would be obviously the biggest thing from this season. Not this.
That happened the first 2 episodes.
Right, yeah. I obviously I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong.
I just didn't know how you extended that far. That's crazy.
Hey,
See,
man,
it's because we were hearing things were out of order. Whoever put that rumor out there, you're a liar. You are a liar.
Yeah, Jamie's spitting. But no, I overall I enjoyed it. I've been unfortunately seeing a lot of people's complaints about it. I kind of just, I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. The show just is what it is. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But I enjoyed it. I thought the cast was great. I thought what's her name as Ellie definitely hit those.
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey, thank you. I will say this. There was one part I was extremely uncomfortable. I'm like, all right, y'all. She's sitting here with a shirt off way too long. I put a shirt on, girl. Girl, put a shirt on. I felt uncomfortable because I watched Game of Thrones. She was like 3 years old in Game of Thrones. Like, girl, you don't put that goddamn shirt on, man. Like, God damn, man, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. But anyway, I really did like this season as a whole. I thought this episode was fine. Now that we know next season's going to be Abby heavy.
Yeah.
So now that we know that, it's kind of just like, okay, we kind of guessed that we'd flip that coin at some point. So I mean, I will say this though, and Jamie, I'm going to pass this to you first.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing that bothered me was, I don't know if they were trying to tell us a lot of time had passed from the moment where Ellie did what she did to the moment where she got back to what's her name that was pregnant, but like they all came back together, Dina. Because I don't remember Abby getting to Ellie that goddamn fast. I felt like she had just left, right? Like they had just left. How the fuck Abby get there so fast? Was that like supposed to go from night to day? Had a lot of time passed? That's where I was lost. I'm like, It felt like Ellie just left. I'm like, how the fuck Abby get here so fast?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how I remembered it in the game. So that is what hung me up a little bit.
Well, they skipped all Abby's story, which is why that's why Ellie's story felt so rushed. Mm-hmm. Is because you didn't have no middle. Like there's no Abby story to break up because that's what extended the story.
Right.
So you go back and forth, till you get to the point where we're at now. And you never got any of that with Abby. That's why I felt like this was going so quick. You're like, wow, they were really, and they decided to cut a lot of action, in my opinion. But they just added a lot of narrative. So they could have definitely added an episode or two just by extending certain scenes with certain moments where it was more. To me, that was my biggest issue with the show in general. Was that again, even though they started off really well, in my opinion, they laxed on the action aspect of it because there's shit you can do in this game that you never see in the show. And you're like, come on, Ellie is a crazy motherfucker. She can do some cool ass shit. Not one time I see her with bow and arrow. That was annoying. I love using bow and arrow in that game. I don't know, little nitpicks like that. But overall, I thought the show was fine. It's just things like that is what bothered me.
You're not wrong, because think about this. Outside of that episode with the big reveal, you know what we also didn't get a lot of? Fucking clickers. We got it in spots. When you play that game, it's a clicker per second. Not per level, per second. It could be a clicker anywhere you are. Yeah. And I kind of felt like maybe budget-wise they skimmed a little. To me, if you're going to skim on one, you can't skim on the other. If you're going to skim on the action, give me some more visuals. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I didn't play this game because it was just a great story. I played this game because it was a great story that complemented the great action. of me playing it.
That bothered me so much because there were so many moments either with the clickers or the bloaters, or they did show more of the stalkers because they're like the newer.
Yeah, they did.
And then we didn't really get to see. I don't forget if that was Abby or Ellie. Sometimes it gets blended in the dark when they're under. I forget. But yeah, they fight not just the clickers. They fight the religious cult. What are they called? Scars.
Yeah,
yeah.
The seraphs,
the wolves,
seraphites,
those guys.
Yeah.
They missed opportunities there and showing that. Like, it's like they're holding back. I'm like, why? Show us.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jamie. As I pass it to you, sometimes when I was watching this season, I kept saying to myself, "Was this a book or was this a fucking video game?" Like, it's like I feel like it was a book. It's just heavy on the drama. And I remember in the game, I could kill a lot more people than I'm seeing in this season.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's kind of just like, nah. But anyway, Jamie, your thoughts on whether you want to attack the last 2 episodes or the season as a whole? Floor's yours.
I can speak to the last 2 episodes because I want to say the second to last episode was the only other episode where we got to see Joel. That was my favorite episode of the season, hands down, definitely.
Favorite, man.
Yeah, I like seeing the flashbacks and kind of I'm pretty sure all the content that was covered in the show is also covered in the game, but those were like some really great moments in the game that they got to kind of like reimagine for the show that I thought was really cool. And I feel like we did get a little bit more like added content as far as Joel and Ellie's relationship kind of changing over the years. And I love the fact that it was kind of centered around like Ellie's birthday. Like Joel always tried to do something special. He might not be a great dude, but he is an amazing father. He like always tried to do something special for her birthday. And as the years went on, it's like, you know, he still had that effort, but that like wedge that was between Joel and Ellie because of like the big secret of him like taking out the people in the hospital just kept getting bigger and bigger. So I thought that was interesting to kind of like watch their relationship. I wouldn't say unravel because I still think that like, you know, they were they still love each other, but it just wasn't the same. I seen a lot of people talk about how they don't like that Joel said they could have made a cure from Ellie in the game or in the show versus like in the game. He says he doesn't know if they could have made a cure or not, but he just didn't want to risk it. I feel like that does make more sense. Like, you know, there was a risk that maybe her dying like creates a cure, maybe it doesn't. I need to do something so I can at least guarantee that she'll be okay. Versus in the show, it seemed like he just like, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to do this. Everybody die. Like screw. You know, we'll just live in an apocalypse. It's whatever. And yeah, I don't think Neil should have said that one. Don't think he should have said that one. Don't think she should wrote that one. But you know, it's done. It's done. It's done. Kind of hopping into the most recent episode, I do feel like we were doing a lot. We were going to a lot of different places. I feel like the thing I didn't like so much in the episode is actually the Seraphite scene where, you know, Ellie, she's like in the motorboat, like trying to get to Abby, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this bitch. And then like she crashes on this island. She gets kidnapped for a second, is like getting hung. And then the people run away and she's like, whoa, that was crazy. All right, back on the boat. We're back on the boat. We're going back. I'm like, what? What just happened? I'm like, that was crazy. I kind of feel like we didn't need that there. Like, I do think we need to acknowledge that the Seraphites are a threat. And I do like that it kind of reversed Ellie's argument that she was posing to Jesse earlier, where, like, you know, the Seraphite kid was getting kidnapped. She's like, what's wrong with you? Like, I thought you were a good guy. We're supposed to, like, save this kid, whatever. Like, that was me, like, so long ago. And then come to find out, the same Seraphite people she was trying to protect, they're like, oh, they will hang your ass in 2 seconds. So they did not give a damn. So it was interesting to see that, but it just did not feel like the right place to put that scene, in my opinion. freaking Owen and Mel, their deaths, I didn't remember Owen dying so fast, and I think it's because like in the game we jump back and forth from Ellie to Abby, so it felt like we were with Owen for longer.
Really know Owen in this because
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
see him at all because that's Abby's story.
Yeah, which is
It's like
it's so strange. It's so strange. But Mel's death was like heart wrenching. That was probably one of my favorite performances of the season. Just like insane. I think Belle Ramsey did a great job. I don't know the lady that plays Mel, so I apologize for that, but she also did a great job. That was crazy. But yeah, I think overall this. Oh, I was also very hurt by Jesse dying again. That hurt a lot. I like every time, like it happened in the game. Just when I was starting to be like, Jesse's cool. I like Jesse. He dies, and the same thing in the show. Like, yeah, Jesse's cool. I know it's coming, and then he dies. And I'm like, damn it. I still don't agree with the way that they've approached this, which is like, then getting hit by a giant wave, getting hung, almost gutted. That's what I say. Like, she still wanted to go. Like, that's crazy. But I don't agree with how we've done the season with just doing Abby's story and then going to Ellie's story. Because I've been saying it. I think the past couple podcasts, like people already don't really like Abby, which is understandable. Granted, where we left off with her, it's understandable. But do you think they're gonna come back for a season 3 where it's like, all right, your favorite character, it's Abby? Like
I don't think that's how it's gonna start because you gotta leave them in with the treats and then get the Abby's.
I don't know.
Because she's gonna be the bulk of the season, in my opinion.
I think it's gonna be like
honestly
Abby from 1 to who knows how many, and then like last couple we'll get the ending as we saw it in the game. But
I'm gonna be honest with you. I give the viewers a little bit more credit because I think what Neil was able to do with this game that I think is so beautiful that I think he focused more on in this season as opposed to the game even did is that there are two individuals walking the same path in life, right? And I think when you really look at it, don't look at it from the standpoint of the game is about Ellie and Joel, you're playing as Ellie and Joel. Look at it from a sense of what the story is showing you. And the story is showing you that there is no good guy or bad guy here. Because you can justify Abby's actions the same way you can justify Ellie's. You can vilify Abby the same way you can vilify Ellie. So the way I kind of feel like they walked the dog this season is showing you, look at all the killing shit Ellie's willing to do for revenge. Is that not just what Abby did? Why is Abby vilified but Ellie is celebrating?
But that's the thing. That's the thing. There, even for people that have, like, you know, they played the game or they've seen the story, they're still on Ellie's side after seeing both sides at the same time. So I feel like with this, because there's like, okay, we have Ellie's story and then we switch over to Abby's story, they're gonna be like, man, when is she gonna trip and fall on a knife, or when is she gonna die? Like, when can we see her die? I think the way that the story was done in the game, it does put you in a better position to feel more empathy for Abby, because you literally see the parallels of them like going through similar things. Like,
see, that's where I disagree. I disagree because think about it. Here's why I think it's different, right? When you're playing the game, you're playing for a lot longer. You're doing a lot more, so you become ingratiated with Ellie. I think if you never played the game, know nothing about this story, and only watch the show, I think the show kind of makes it to where you're just like, oh, okay, it's about Ellie and Joel. And then as you get to season 2, yes, I do think it is one of those gut wrenches of who's this bitch that just killed like the person I've grown to enjoy watching. But I think because the focus of season 2 was trying to show you the parallels, and I think season 3 will hit it home even more. I think to just an average viewer, I think it's just showcasing you that there is no winners in war, and you're essentially in a big war. So again, I'm not saying they're going to turn Abby into a hero. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think they're going to make it a lot easier for an average viewer that knows nothing about the game to look at it and say, oh, well, fuck it. I can see where both sides are coming from. I mean, it's still fucking Abby, but I can at least see like, oh, she was driven to that because she lost her dad, just like Ellie was driven to that because she lost her dad. In the game, it's different because I just feel like it's just a longer time you're playing Joel and Ellie. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like,
you had a whole first game of Joel and Ellie.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You're emotionally tied.
Than the show.
The game, you have more time, obviously, because you get to Abby right away. Like as soon as that happens, you're like, what the fuck?
Listen.
And like this show now makes you wait a whole season before you get to have that feeling. And and then some people are weird. Like, I'm not coming back. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. See that I want to have as much faith as you do, Jawan. That's like I've actually seen something very similar to this. I believe it's season 2 of Vinland Saga, which is this anime. So the first season, the main character was like his name is Thorfinn. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just saying he was very violent. He was like very like I'm trying to kill everybody. Like I want to go to Valhalla. Like he was all about that. Then the second season, he's like, you know what? All that stuff is bad. I'm on my peace tip. I'm just trying to find love and peace, bro. And the mangaka or the author of the manga was trying to teach people, like, you know, it's better to go with the path of peace. Like, don't be trying to fight people all the time. And do you know what the response from the fans were? Why is he not fighting? Where is the violence? Blah, 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 blah. So that's why I don't have any faith that people are going to be like, oh, we're on this side. Now I get to understand Abby. They're going to be like, no, I want her to die. When do we get to see her die?
I think you can understand her and still want her to die. I don't think there's any difference between Abby and Ellie as opposed to Xavier and Magneto. People love Magneto, and you can argue Magneto is the bad guy. But it depends on which side of the fence you look at it as. Magneto's only fighting to defend his people, right? It's not like Magneto wakes up and says, I'm just going to murder people today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just look at it as, it just depends on how you view it. It's two sides of the fence. You can be on either or. But I do think there's a world where you can understand Abby, but not give a fuck about what happens to Abby. Like, at the end of the day, her plight is the same plight that we're celebrating Ellie for. So that's all I'm saying. Again, if people don't get that and they want Abby dead and they don't watch it, whatever, that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? No problem. More power to them. I'm just saying I choose to give. You know what it reminds me of, Jamie? I remember when all the big podcasts, like geek podcasters, kept saying, "There's no way you can have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker and continue with Jared Leto. It'll confuse fans." I remember me and Joel kept saying, "I don't think people are stupid." Like, I think people can watch a movie with a Joker and a Batman movie and go, oh, that's that Joker. And then watch that movie and go, that's that Joker. I don't think people are stupid. You know, I choose to sometimes give people more credit than maybe they deserve. I'm just saying I don't think people that enjoy the show will get off the ride because the season is Abby forward.
If they're enjoying it, then no. But the people that are on the fence might not feel the same.
For sure. But those are people that are already on the fence. It's less to do with Abby and more to do with they just maybe didn't like where the show was going. So that's what I'm saying.
Doing it in the game was controversial too. So this isn't not new for them. That's because they chose, to not show action scenes for some reason, or enough of them. They showed some.
Well, also, where you got to be a little bit more fair here. They didn't show us a lot of Ellie and Abby together, so it's like it's not. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll heighten that a lot. In the game, you do get that a lot more. You do also get Ellie hitting that hit list to get to Abby a lot more. This kind of just boom right there.
What they're just saying is true, depending on how they handle season 3.
That's right.
Because if they do the same thing with Ellie, they don't go full in on what she can do, then that's two girls that going at each other with the same experience.
But Ellie was incompetent in everyday life a lot this season. What's incompetent? Because maybe I'm not remembering the game right, and that's not me being sarcastic. I'm dead serious. Maybe I don't remember the game right. I don't know what you mean by incompetent.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know what you mean, but it's very possible I don't remember the.
I most definitely don't remember everything. And I remember a lot of the act because I played it. You know, I actually expect that. I remember that more than some of the plot points because a lot of that happened. But I experienced actually doing certain things. That's why I miss. That's why it stood out to me when things aren't done. Because I'm like, could have did this, and this would have been cool because this was like this, and that was like that. You know.
Fam couldn't read a map. She was making bad decisions left and right. She was consistently second guessing herself. Is that different from the game?
I don't remember if she could read the map in the game.
It
I'm
was
not
weird.
gonna lie.
No. I'm not
the...
holding Didge to that. I'm asking Didge a broad question. Was she not incompetent in the game? Is what I'm asking. I'm not asking you specific points. Yes. So she was like this in the game? Is that what you're saying? Yes.
No. He's saying that she was. She's not. She was definitely more independent in the game. But that's because you were playing as her, and then Dina got pregnant, so she couldn't use her help. So it was just her for a while there. You know what I mean? Then they didn't show a lot of that, honestly.
Okay. Well, then if that's Didge's point, then that's less about Ellie, more about they have no interest in fleshing out. It's more so just like hit this point, move on. Hit this point, move on.
Yeah,
that's more so. They legit said Jesse had to be her Joel this season.
He wasn't around enough to be her Joel this season.
But
weird. I understand. Like he was helping her train early on.
I remember them saying like when he came to rescue her and Dina from like the horde of
right.
I forget what they're called, like the more advanced zombies. Like Ellie thinks that she sees like Joel in the distance, but it's really Jesse because I guess they similar outfit of weapons and whatnot. But
maybe I don't know. Again, it's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I rarely go back and play them twice. So
yeah, Jamie. Sorry, did you have anything else about this season?
The one thing that kind of disappoints me is I wish we had more like scenes outside of the game that were brought into the show, like the Bill and Frank episode. I wish we would have done more of that because that was like my favorite parts of the season last for the first season, like the part where they're explaining like how the virus started spreading, how it started growing, and like Bill and Frank's episode and things like that I really enjoyed. And this time around I feel like we did a little bit more story shuffling rather than like adding more to the story. And I feel like we definitely could have dug a little bit more into like maybe Ellie and Joel's relationship, or even like see a little bit more of Abby and kind of like slow things down a little bit because it did kind of feel rushed in some areas.
Considering where it ended, it definitely felt rushed. But again, it only feels rushed because we never got like we got Abby in the beginning and the end. It was like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Yeah, they might have had better luck if they had made it like 20 episodes, and then you kind of went 10 and 10 with like a meeting at the end, and then have that be the cliffhanger of the meeting of those two, and then season 3 is just a continuation of splitting it 50-50. Because you shortening it is always going to make people feel like something is being missed.
Are they filming the third one already?
No, I don't think so. Because remember, Pedro's supposed to be. Never mind. He's not in it. I don't know.
Maybe a flashback, but probably not much.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up in one of the episodes of the flashback. But
his Force Ghost is like, "Go, Ellie, go,
better,
do it."
Not Joel coming back as her Palpatine. What was I going to say? That would be hilarious. Anything else, Jamie, before I pass Joel?
No, overall, I enjoyed this season. Hopefully, they can take some of the criticism that we've shared and other fans have shared, the good criticism, and apply it to season 3.
Right.
I hope so, because I've seen too many interviews of Neil where it don't sound like he give a fuck. So
I don't think he does, honestly, which I kind of respect him for. I'm like, if you're making art for yourself, that is totally fine, and I respect that. But also, like, then you can't try and fight with people about like why you did what you did. It's like, listen, you just gotta deal with it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was advice that Prince gave anyone that is in a field of art. Said you never make art for people. You make art for yourself in hopes that people like it. So if that's what he wants to do, yeah, you don't ever argue with people. You made two of arguably some of the best games ever, right? You don't necessarily owe people an explanation as why you choose to change things of your game in your show. You just gotta live with the decisions you make if people don't like it. But he kind of gives me that energy of I don't give a fuck, you know. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
What's that? Joel, your thoughts on the season as a whole, and then obviously these last 2 weeks.
I really kind of said my piece on it. I just felt like it's missing some of the, not so much because I remember Jamie mentioned violence earlier in the chat, and I'm saying more of the choreography.
Yeah, it was definitely more gory this time around. I definitely felt more ill looking at some of this stuff. But I do, after you explain what you meant, like, yeah, they don't use bottles, they don't use bricks, they don't use shivs.
I love when you go into the house and make your own shit. And because sometimes you have nothing but the shiv you just made, you know what I mean? Or the fucking bat that you found or whatever. Because you always have a melee weapon, you have your guns, you make you make your own random ass fucking silencer sometimes. That's why I just use the bow and arrow because it's silent shit. But that little things like that you never get into because they don't really take the time to do that because they kind of just go to the next story beat. And that's fine, but like how fast
they have so much ammo for some reason. I'm like, they have
fucking
like
do.
I'm like, where do y'all get all these
real? The game don't do that. You better hold your bullets, bro. Now, like the other guys, what are they called? The wolf.
Yeah, wolf.
Them guys, they be just reckless with their bullets. But like you don't have that luxury, so you gotta like use their bullets to carry their shit. That's different. But like when you got your own shit. You better be careful. That's all. But that's to me like the same thing happened in the first season. It was very much like I missed certain to me action beats that I think make the game. And I think they totally nail the story beats. Now, obviously, they made decisions. They changed the way they did things in this. You can argue if you like them or not. That's up to you. I mean, I was fine with a lot of it. To me, it just came down to like. They kind of missed out on certain things that I liked doing, and I think they would have been cool seeing. Like even the that's fine. 7. That's not terrible.
Not for what it sounded like Didge was giving the show each week.
I know.
7 is really good.
Just came in with a hate no reason.
That's solid.
Yeah,
that's solid. Yeah, it is. But like that, like remember the ending. Like, I remember that whole scene on the boat. In the game and how you go like one post to another taking motherfuckers out like there's just certain things that you don't get to experience in the show that the game affords you, and I think that's all to me missing in it. That's the only thing that I really had a big issue with. But again, a lot of the casting has been great, the acting has been great.
Miss you, Jesse.
I mean, again, it was funny because when the season started, I'm like, he does die, right? I remember him dying. I'm wrong. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think it's as good as the first season, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that its decision to do what it did with Abby and separate the two, like having Abby one season, Ellie one season. I think the back and forth probably would have been a little better, like the game did it. But like, hey, it's a choice, and we'll see what happens next season. Maybe they can fix whatever issues they made, but they made in this one. Well, next season they can probably fix those. It won't be as problematic.
That is true.
We shall see.
Trayvon, so what are your thoughts on our thoughts about thoughts?
I like that.
You're muted. I was gonna let you go a whole thing.
Oh, sorry.
I couldn't do that to you.
No, but I agree with Jamie when she said we need more standalone episodes like that one in the first season. then I come back.
Yeah, I was gonna just skip you, and part of me feels
That's
like
not exactly what she meant, but I get where you're coming.
This season was very gay, though. It's just like, it was
Not your gay, but it was gay.
No, he doesn't recognize that form of
No, I'm happy for them.
of celebration.
Yeah,
Whoever loves that.
That's his verbal middle finger, usually.
Right. That was him saying, "Don't ever say that shit again." Is what he was saying to you. Just heads up. All right, let's. Oh, Trayvon. So I don't forget to do it because I don't want to go too long tonight. Go into Harry Potter. So I don't not do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, just want to talk about the casting that we got for, Hermione, Ron, and the main character Harry Potter.
They casted some 5-year-olds, right?
They're not 5. They got there between.
Trayvon, bring up a picture of them. Bring up a picture of those fucking children. The 5-year-olds. Bring it up.
They're between 9 and 11.
That's a lot. No, I'm not mad. I'm happy because Trayvon always complains about don't make them too old to start because then they might age out of it. And I said they went beyond what Trayvon asked for, and they're 5. Each of them are in kindergarten so that we can have them for the next 30 years.
Yeah,
Look
they
at
do
these
look very.
5-year-olds.
They do look very young. They do.
They look like they drink sippy cups.
Yeah. Okay, fine. All right, fine. They are very young. Yes, you're right. so Dominic McLaughlin. So that's the one in the middle. He's gonna be Harry. Then you got Arabella Stanton, who's gonna be Hermione, and then what was the third one? Wait. Oh yeah, and then Alistair Stout. Gonna be Ron Weasley. I mean, look, they need them young. It needs to work. Usually they start at age 11. All that stuff makes sense. So at least as long as they keep the seasons going, at least hopefully back to back, or at least no more than 6 months in between them starting to work on them. I think it'll work very well. Like the movies, when we watched them, you literally grew up with them. I thought that was very cool to see. I want to see them do that with this as well. I'm happy for them. This is a big deal. Like, this is a crazy, it's a crazy job to get. So I'm very happy for them. And apparently, they're very new. I think
she's done Broadway.
Yeah, okay, Broadway. But I think the Ron one, I think he's been in like one commercial. Apparently, from what I saw earlier, non-speaking, just in the commercial. So I was like,
just happy to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, when you definitely back to back. Just the same way I felt about the new Percy Jackson they're doing. How long it took them to do it. Like the kid shot up. And I was like,
yeah, but that's different. That's different.
No,
There's nothing about
kids. They're supposed to be kids.
But Trayvon, kids, I don't know if you've seen kids today. They're tall as fuck. Me knowing this, because they're all taller than me, there's like at least 5 8-year-olds on my block alone taller than me. So that doesn't not make him a kid because he's tall.
Well, tall, voice change, all that stuff. All that. Like,
going on?
No, Trayvon's comparing. He's saying we need back-to-back seasons. So these kids don't look like kindergartners and then smoking cigarettes the next season. And then he compared it to
like Percy's supposed to be in high school, right? So that's not too.
I thought this was started at 12 years old. I thought this was started at
12.
Did that kid ever look like 12? He didn't look like 12 from last season.
Yes, he did.
Percy. He looked like he was 13 or 14.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Harry Potter. My bad.
Well, this is 11. It's 11. It's around the same. 11, 12. They both like both of them start. Both of those franchises start at that age.
I see.
So I do believe they're gonna. I think you can't keep them young forever. So obviously, I think per season they'll just get older.
Yeah.
How old were they when they
don't do 2-year break? That's what I'm saying.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, you have to kind of keep going. You can't do like Stranger Things
on hand.
You can't have Stranger Things. Like 10 years later, they're fucking got mustaches and shit.
Yeah.
Well, how old are they at the end of the book? You remember?
Where on this?
Yeah,
Harry Potter. In the book. At the end of the series, the book, movies, how old are they?
I guess 17. 17, 18.
Wow, okay, so they go wait. All right, so then they'll probably age into these stories.
Yeah,
they're really young. Like I don't know how old they are.
5,
but
each.
They're not 5.
They're supposed to be 9 to 11.
Yeah, they're probably closer
right
to that
here.
age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect age because they can grow into that.
Yes.
You know, they can take their not sweet time, but more time than normal. You know, because they're kids.
I'm just excited to see how they do this, and just they're using all the details from the books and all that stuff. So, and they have the time to flesh it out. I don't know, 8 episode seasons or whatever they're gonna do.
And it's next year,
Well,
right?
no, that's different because if you're gonna just do 8 episode seasons, that's gonna be very interesting to see how they squeeze that into a thing. Because remember, the movies felt like they were like 4 hours sometimes,
but they weren't though. They're only 2.5.
They
So
felt longer.
now you got 8 hours.
You got 4 times the exactly. You got 4 times
We'll
that now.
We'll see, because remember there was more beats to hit in the book as opposed to what they did in the movies.
Yeah.
The books
So
are
They
bigger.
kept a lot of
It's going to be interesting how you fit that.
Well, it's
in
supposed to
8
be close to
episode
the book,
seasons.
right?
It's supposed to be right after the book. Yeah, this is supposed to face off the books. Yeah.
Right.
So
Which is interesting. I
they
never
have more
read.
time.
I know the movies. I don't know the book, so that's.
Yeah, I'll never know the book, so this is a good way.
Yeah, there are a lot of details.
I read
that
1.5.
They didn't do.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I mean, if you didn't even know, like in the, I think Deathly Hallows Part 2 or whatever, or 1, whatever, you wouldn't even know that was Grindelwald. Like you wouldn't even have no idea. Everybody's like, "Who was that guy that he was talking to?" You had no idea. Like you would never know. So that stuff like that. I hope they flesh that out. So you actually know who the hell that is when you see him.
But this does round out a very beautiful cast, very amazing cast. Very excited for this. I do hope it does well. And I hope that J.K. Rowling's Twitter gets deleted. There we go. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I saw a tweet of hers recently that shocked me. Pause, wait.
She fell down the stairs?
No. She so people are talking about the actress that's been cast as Hermione, and they're like, "Oh, why'd they make Hermione black?" Blah blah. I don't even.
The little girl's black.
I think they were talking about Snape. I think they were talking about Snape.
No, they said Hermione. They said Hermione.
Now?
Yeah, they cause she got a little color to her. They're like, "Oh, they made her black. It's woke." Blah blah. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Well, they already asked her about that when they did the play. Because
she's black.
The play was black. Yeah. So a long time ago they asked her about that. So she was like, "Cool."
I'm just saying. To my trained eye, I looked at 3 white people sitting down.
I didn't think she was black. I'm like, maybe she. I didn't think
she was too dark for them, though. Apparently.
Yeah, they're like,
that's crazy.
Like bleach white.
Is that a 10?
People
colored? We don't like it. Is that a 10? No, we don't like it.
Basically,
like I just came back from vacation. What the fuck?
I did see
J.K. Rowling. She came out and she said, like, I'm totally cool with Hermione being black. Like, that's fine with me. So now I'm like, does she know that she's black, or she just saying Hermione could be black? Oh, well, she also said like Hermione had to have dark hair and I think dark colored eyes or something. And now those are the only 2 describing features for Hermione. She's like, yeah, so Hermione could be black. Like, why y'all freaking out?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do this, because I did see somebody online say something real funny, and I was like, "Well, I didn't think about that," because Snape is now black, and he'll be antagonizing the white kids. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Harry's father, like, make or something at some point. I feel like they gotta change that. They have to change that. They cannot do that. They just can't. There's got to be something different.
He's the hard ass. You can't change that.
Yeah,
him hanging him? Or like, you could do something else, burn him or something. I don't know.
I'm just saying, not the character. Don't change the character.
No, don't change the character. But that specific thing, you might want to change.
Yeah, I mean, is that how it is in the book?
I think so.
It is dark. The books are darker.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't know that because, like. Yeah, I had no idea. I was listening to a discussion and people talking about it. And they're like, yeah, if they don't change that, then people are just going to think that Harry's dad was racist instead of just being a bully.
Right.
Even though, like, he's not racist because at the end, like, he's fighting against, like, the people that are trying to impress, like, wizards and the muggles and all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. Yeah, they definitely were. Even in the movies we recently got, he was bullied at Snape, so that's gonna be interesting to see that dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the decision. They want to make him black. That's cool. All right. Good luck.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll see.
y'all said inclusion.
We'll see.
Y'all didn't say how.
No.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, we'll do this. Make him black. Make him
Yeah,
black.
like, hey, a villain? Yeah, make him black. They're like,
Get
what
the
about
ropes.
Harry?
Wasn't someone else race changed too?
Tie the ropes up.
Like, oh no,
That's somebody
we
else.
won't make Harry black. You trying to get fired? No, the villain, make him black. There you go. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be interesting to see who they add on as the seasons go, as the big name characters going forward. It's gonna be a lot of fun because I will tell you this: the movies had a massive amount of heavy hitting actors from top to bottom. Whether they were then or through time have become heavy hitters, but those movies had massive names. So we'll see. We'll see if season 1 is gangbusters. They always throw in a big name for season 2. So we'll see how that pans.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the call.
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting for. Actually.
I'm excited because if this does well, they can do more with it. Like,
yeah, you want to see all the books now at some point, right?
I mean, the book, sure, but like, I would like Marauders spinoff. I would like. There's a lot of things I would love for this. I would enjoy
it off. God damn, Trayvon.
I'm not. I already told y'all I wasn't like that excited about them rebooting the whole thing again. Anyway, I was like they kind of have to do that, but I'm like, once we get past that though, and it does well, y'all can start doing some other shit.
Because I'm always excited for reboots because I never ever want to have to force a newer generation to watch older movies. No, reboot it for the newer generation. You know what I'm saying? I'm always a fan of that. Always a fan. I've said numerous times, reboot. You said what, Joel?
I'm get my daughter. She watched all the bullshits. All of them.
Oh, well, no, that's fine.
Suffer and sit through all of them.
If it's going to be rebooted, it's okay for them to watch the reboot.
She already watched all Harry Potter.
Oh, well, see, there you go. But yeah, I'm never against that. I don't think any movie is too sacred that it can't be rebooted. Reboot it.
What about shows?
You said what about shows? I don't think that for shows. If in 30 years they want to do another Breaking Bad, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. If they wanted to redo The Wire, I'd be fine with it. The Wire, Godfather, anything. I'm totally with it. Totally with it.
Okay.
I just don't think anything. Because think about it, Trayvon. When you look at The Godfather, you try telling a 16-year-old to sit down and watch that shit. They can't do it, right?
Man,
but if you update it, well, that's because never mind. So if you update it, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's visually or whatever, obviously you're not going to update it to modern times. But if you just, newer actors that the kids today know and stuff like that.
It's blasphemous, but I agree in that respect for Star Wars. Like the original trilogy, I would love to see them updated.
I told you, I'm with you. I'm with you. And start it from the right point.
I would like that.
From Phantom Menace all the way up. I'd 100% be with that. 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because it has to me. To me, it has to keep up with the times. But like,
you know what I think would be dope, Joel? You know what I think would be dope, like a great full circle moment, is if obviously you keep James Earl Jones' voice for Darth Vader, just because it's too iconic. And when you get to that scene where Luke takes off his helmet, it's Hayden Christensen under that shit. I'd go crazy. I'd be telling my kids with my bones barely moving, that's fucking the original. Like, I'd go bananas. I'd go fucking bananas. Go crazy. I'd love that shit.
Go from barely moving to bananas. It's
at
crazy.
that point, you might as well reboot everything,
Yeah, I know.
I would love to see them do that for the original trilogy because that's a little bit older. And I like the original trilogy.
I agree. Well, even the prequels, the prequels could definitely use a nice scrubbing as well. But
fuck you.
It's fair. I mean, the CGI was terrible. A lot of it. It was just.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Technical is like yikes.
Well, no, yeah, that's god awful. As long as you leave out Revenge of the Sith, I'm with you.
Well, I'm just saying all of it gets scrubbed, so you start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's cool.
You leave Revenge of the Sith. Just let that be history. No, just let that be history. Did said he You see, this is what I don't want to do. Don't be forcing. Don't be forcing. Let it be something you're interested in. Don't be forcing.
They don't know better until they sit there and watch it.
No. I'm not gonna be forcing.
How did he say it? Did he's like, damn, I really like that movie. You're like, can I go now?
Right,
it was great.
Right, exactly.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, because for me, I've always felt like whenever I had kids, I wanted it to be something that they're naturally intrigued by, so that like when they hear that a new Superman trailer drop, they're just as excited as I am, as opposed to the trailer dropping and me going, "Hey, Jazz, in here and watch this now. Watch this with me." Like I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want it to just be something that they're excited about also.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, then don't put the word forced in there, Didge, because that's what that insinuates. Okay? Goodness gracious. All right. Anyway, I want to tackle just a couple things. I know these were... oh, wait. No, let me start with this, Trayvon. Can you bring up the photo that Joel just put in the Twitter group chat?
Oh, I didn't even know.
But nah, he liked it. He said all three were good, so then we argued. Oh, wait. I'm confused now. All three. What did you have them watch? Harry Potter?
The original
Star
thing,
Wars?
right? Yeah, I think it was the original trilogy of Star Wars.
Okay, Jimmy. Okay.
I think.
Oh, Godfathers.
Oh, the Godfathers. All three of them? Like.
Yeah, no, he can't be liking the third one. That's blasphemy. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what I would say to my kid if he looked at me and said, "I love the third one the best." Like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you disgust me. I don't even know what to say to you right now. Get out.
I mean, that's I'd
be like, go walk home. You'd be like, I am home. Well, go walk to someone else's home. You can't be here right now. I'm angry. Yeah, 11 threes.
You like what you like.
Hold on, that was Umberto. Oh.
No, there'd be a lot of judgment. Don't like 3. I might not even show 3. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right. So while Trayvon's doing that, I didn't want to bring up. Obviously, we saw the rumor. This is apparently from Disney merch conference attendee. Wait, let's see what Ditch said. I only showed him the first one, and then he came back like, "Yo, all 3 were good." I was like, "I beg your pardon." Amen. Amen. You should have stopped that too. But see, Didge, that's your fault for not telling him that there's only 2. That third one was a spoof. That's your fault.
It was a fever dream.
Right, it doesn't exist. That's a spoof. You don't have to watch that. So apparently from a Disney merch conference attendee, the rumor is Savage Hulk is reportedly positioned. No, I'm sorry. The Hulk is positioned to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
He's saying that Savage Hulk is the villain, though.
Yes, that I didn't want to give any credence to that. I just wanted to focus on the Hulk is.
Did you get all? Did you get all he said about
yes.
the other characters too?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I brought up the same thing that you already said. Okay. So it looks like from their report that Hulk is in the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie.
Right.
And apparently, from Joel's favorite scooper, My Time to Shine, hello. Nicole Kidman is reportedly being eyed to play a female villain in Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we here.
Whoever that is.
Let me see.
Or was it the guy that was the source for the Hulk thing? What was his name? Because there's multiple sources for that.
Right. For the one that I read you, it just said Disney merch conference attendee.
The Disney merch. He also mentioned it, but I know Nexus Point says they heard something.
Right.
Because that was a report that came out. But the merch guy, that guy, because a lot of people don't know if that guy was being serious. Because he also mentioned that Scorpion was in it, and
Tarantula was in it.
Tarantula might be in it. So like, that's a lot of fucking people.
Right.
And so like,
Tarantula is a real thing.
Yes, that's a character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a spider character, like a Spider-Man character. Now, the only reason I'm even bringing these quote-unquote reports up is a lot of people don't know that in Sony's deal with Marvel, when a Spider-Man movie drops, a MCU character needs to always be in it. Does not matter what shape or form. Obviously, you see Stark played a large role in the first one, right? Then you get to the second one. Fury played a large role in the second one. Then you get to the third one. Doctor Strange played a role in the third one. So it does make sense that a Marvel character would be in it. Oh my god, you're telling me I'm gonna see even more Nicole Kidman, bro? I might crash out. I might have to go to like a different theater.
Our brains feel good in a place like this.
It sure fucking doesn't. It sure fucking doesn't, bro.
On a
I
huge
swear to
silver
God,
screen.
it's the only way to get me angry before a movie. A movie I'm excited to see is that shit popping up. So fucking annoying.
You don't like that? I'd be anticipating. I'd be ready.
Hold on, let me be fair to Nicole Kidman. I also don't like the fact that I'm in a Dolby movie and you feel the need to tell me for the next 3 minutes that I'm in a Dolby movie. It's like, no, but I selected a Dolby.
Oh, that
movie.
one, yeah.
Yeah, like I get it. I don't need you to.
The only ones I think is crazy when they do those Dolby commercials and they're talking about the movie we get ready to see and spoiling it. I'm like,
I'm
like
what?
Sonic, the fuck you doing?
Like the Barbie movie, she was showing the whole goddamn set. I was like, I'm getting ready to watch it.
Sonic did the same thing. I'm like, why I'm watching the movie already?
Wait, no. Sonic was even worse. Sonic was like 10 minutes of what happened in the last movies leading to this point, and it's like, well, assume that a person sitting here watching it knows what came before, right? Like, I don't need this. If they need it, put it in your DVD. That's not for me. Get me too.
You know, that reminded me, a short tangent. So me and my parents are getting ready to watch Andor season 2. We were like, yo, what happened in Andor season 1? I remember the prison break. I didn't remember a whole lot of anything else. So my mom starts up the first episode and she just didn't like skip, like just keep spanning stuff. And so we get into the episode, I'm like, Mom, you skipped the recap. Like, why did you do that? We went back, there was no recap. And I was like, oh. Apparently they published the recap like as a whole separate thing. I'm like, why didn't you like, hey, we recommend watch this before season 2? So Disney, y'all need to come on now.
I will say Netflix does it the best. Netflix will give me like a whole overview I didn't even ask for, but I watch it every time. I'm like, oh, that's right, that did happen.
Yep. Yeah.
They put them on YouTube too, though. They do like a little. They have one of the actors do it. Or some of the actors together do like a recap of the seasons or whatever. I enjoy those.
So it's a bunch of speculation that look. I just wanted to bring it up as like a broad, making sure we at least brought it up. But this movie is going to start filming within the next month or two, so we'll see how full of shit any of this stuff is.
I will say this:
we won't have to wait long.
That Hulk shit, I heard about Hulk a while back because Roka mentioned it in his show with Snyder. This was his scoop too. It wasn't even Snyder's scoop; it was his scoop. But his was a little crazier because it was not just Hulk. It was like Hulk. It was like Spider-Man and the Punisher versus the Hulk. It was really weird. And that was months ago. Well, not months ago, like maybe a couple months ago, not too long ago. I remember it wasn't that long ago, but because now that it's coming back, I guess this is now the third time I've heard the Hulk's name for this movie. So it's like, all right, so maybe he is in the movie. Maybe not the way they originally or the way he heard it, but it's where there's smoke is all I'm saying.
So we'll see if any of that actually fizzles out to be true. Like I said, this movie I think starts filming before San Diego Comic-Con.
Should.
So
didn't they say it was like July?
And now it comes out before Avengers now.
Also, remember that. Well, no. We're talking about when it starts filming.
Also, remember now it comes out before Avengers now, right?
Yes, it does. Yes. It does. Also, remember, what's his name's movie is done filming. They're done.
What's his name?
No, the movie. What's the director that did Inception?
No.
Yeah, no.
Christopher Nolan's movie. Christopher Nolan. It's all right. You were better than me. I was going to say Christopher McQuarrie.
I knew it was a Nolan. I just got the wrong one.
Yeah, his movie's been done filming, so Tom Holland's just sitting around waiting for Spider-Man to go into
That's what I mean. Because I thought, wasn't it? I think it was July. They said they would start filming. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's before San Diego Comic-Con. Because because think about it, you want to start filming before San Diego Comic-Con, so you can give San Diego Comic-Con probably like a little sizzle reel of what Spider-Man is going to be.
Anything would be nice.
And if you do that, we'll know if any of this is bullshit. So
I mean, whatever they give us would be nice because Spider-Man, because they like to do this shit separately, like Sony.
But that's what I'm saying. A sizzle reel, because last time Marvel did a sizzle reel for Spider-Man was at the San Diego Comic-Con when they did it for Far From Home with the Mysterio. They did a panel where it was like just a little sizzle reel. And I think that was Kevin.
I remember they did something for D23 for Homecoming, but it wasn't like it wasn't movie footage. It was like their own little cut of like stuff.
Right. Yeah. So look, and don't forget also Deadline and all these other people will be telling us the official castings and who people are playing.
Yeah.
All that will start to fizzle out very soon.
Only official trade castings from the trades have been Sadie Sink and Liza Colonzai. So the only people they've mentioned have been cast for this movie so far.
Right.
From the trades.
Right. So we'll know soon. So I don't want to deep dive into this and then it's like a lot of hot air for nothing. Because we'll know very soon. Right. We'll know very soon. But Tanaya Miller has been cast as Jocasta in Vision Quest. We also do got another branch of that same tree that apparently the voice of Friday will be in live action form for Vision Quest also.
And Edith, apparently.
Emily Hampshire, who voices Edith.
Hampshire is going to be Edith, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I mean, all these sound great. This show is very much you have to really sell me on this shit. I mean, James Spader coming back to do Ultron. All this sounds all nice and great. Unless you tell me Wanda's coming back in this series, this is very low on my totem pole. Very fucking low. I've not been a fan of what they've done with Vision, so if you're gonna give me some really cool Vision shit here, or maybe he gets back into color, I'm all game. If not, like I said, you're just gonna have to sell me more on it. And I did want to also bring up, this is the biggest thing we're all gonna collectively talk about, and we'll start to fizzle our way out here on this. My Time to Shine a Hello, that's co-run by Joel, has rumored that Bryan Cranston is reportedly being considered to play Professor X in the MCU.
I'm sure.
Now, this is very different than the quote-unquote scoopers who about a month or two ago was telling us were toying around
last week.
Right, they were toying around with black actors for both Magneto and Xavier. So
they saw the people getting mad. That's all right. Can't do it.
No, I don't think that's how that
wouldn't be the first time.
I don't think that's how that if anything, Bryan Cranston has expressed his interest in what's the fucking character?
Sinister. A lot of people.
Sinister. So Marvel was probably just like, hey, we're not gonna let you do that, but we did like how you played a bald guy. How would you like to do it again? That's pretty much where I think that maybe came from.
What a pitch.
And people also have to let go of this. Denzel had already leaked to y'all that he's in Black Panther 3. I highly doubt he's in Black Panther 3 as Professor Xavier.
No, they wanted Denzel for Magneto, apparently.
Oh, well, I doubt he's in that movie as Magneto. So that should have told you from that point that that's probably not where they're going.
I bet you Mr. Sinister's black.
It could be. I mean,
is this a whole thing now? You think black people are villains because of Harry Potter? Is that where you're going, Trayvon?
I'm just saying.
If he's black, he's still.
I'm just calculating.
If he's black, he better be still pale because that motherfucker's pale, like white pale.
How are we doing a little trickery right now?
At that point,
black. He better be Michael Jackson white by the time that movie starts. That's what I'm saying.
I'll call some relatives I know just who to cast.
Joel's not reportedly wrong. Also, last thing here is Disney merch conference attendee also reports that Shuri, Namor, and M'Baku will have new costumes in Avengers Doomsday. Now, that's not too shocking, Because
It's not.
here's where I need clarification. Here's where I need clarification.
Fair.
Each time a title character is in a new movie, the suit does look different, but it's not necessarily all the time a new suit. It's just an altered suit to showcase that, hey, money's gone up. We got a bigger budget this time for this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't necessarily scream new suit. It just is same suit, just the design is a little different.
Yeah.
Because, like, think about it.
It's been
M'Baku's
redone.
worn the same thing for 4 movies. I doubt it's going to be a different looking, like, too drastically different than what M'Baku always wears. Right.
It's different
So-
from one movie to the other. It's
They
just,
just be
No,
they're
I'm
just
saying it's not
redone with better
drastically
materials.
different. It's not
Yeah.
drastically different. It's not like Stark's costume from Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2. Those are drastically different. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think M'Baku is going to be that much different. And Namor doesn't wear clothes. So I don't really know.
that's not true.
What do you do with Namor? Man wears boxers, Joel.
You can wear
Yes,
less.
no, he wears
He can wear
tight
less.
ones. But yes, he can. There are suits where he has pants and he has the kind of what he looks like in Marvel Rivals, like that.
He can wear less.
Right.
Ron, it's fine.
I'm not shaking my head at you, Joel. I'm shaking my head at Trayvon. I try not to
I'm
hear,
just
but
telling
he
you,
comes
like-
in so clear.
There
He
are suits
can.
where
I want to know the in-store reason for the.
There
new
is
suit.
never
The
going to be
heroes
an
go
in-store
their
reason for new
designer and
costumes.
be like, let's switch it up.
I
Yeah,
also
like
want
I said, it's always just like just touching up here and there.
everybody's gonna have new suits. It's an event. You guys sell toys, guys. Come on. Like,
Yeah, no, this isn't shocking. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I don't think it's drastic. I don't think it's gonna be. I
I
don't think
think-
Shuri's suit is drastically different.
well, I think what's even better is that they basically they're in the shot. They're with them. What's it called? Namor and Atuma are also in the movie because they're
Right.
on set with
You
them.
should wear some other speedo.
Oh.
All right, we're ending the show. Trayvon just ended it.
Did you still want to do that picture you wanted me to show?
Oh God, do it silently. Yes, I want to.
This
are
reminds
we
me
gonna-
of the
are we gonna talk-
dude in Saints Row. I can't remember his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Zemo. I think his name was
Yes.
Zemo.
Reminds me of the guy from Invincible.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, that too.
Joel, what were you gonna ask? Are we gonna do what?
Are we gonna talk about them moving the
Yeah,
Avengers
that's all right.
back?
Oh
The
shit!
dates
Yeah,
got
we could do that. We could do that real quick. The dates. Go ahead, Joel. Go ahead.
The dates got moved. The Avengers got moved back to the end of the year. So both Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars both got moved back to December of their respective years. So now Avengers Doomsday comes out December 18th of 2026, and Secret Wars comes out December 17th of 2027. Whereas they were both in was it May?
May.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now they are no longer in May. They are now in December. So we will have to. And now Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out before Doomsday, where it was coming out in the middle between the two. And that's
And there is a.
perfect. That was great. That was great. That was great.
Sorry, I had to do it.
That was great. I like that. That was good.
It's like Jawan froze. He's so still.
There is another movie date though. They
That's what I was gonna get to.
okay, July
Is that-
23rd.
Yes, I believe that movie will be Doctor Strange. That's what I was gonna.
Possible.
It has to fucking be Doctor Strange. Like,
It's
wouldn't
it's
make sense
strange.
if it's not, because the movie ends with that man disappearing. You can't start Doomsday where you're just like, Doctor Strange is here. Look, he's right there. It's like, how? Where did he go? What did he do? We never found out.
Talk about a busy schedule. That man's gonna go Doomsday and he's gonna do his own movie in the Secret Wars.
Yeah. Hey, fuck it. That's money.
I'm just
We
testing a
upgraded.
few
We got a
things out.
soundboard now.
We
Actually,
did.
look, all I'm saying is we didn't get it till Jamie came around. That's that big money that Jamie's spending around over here. That's all I'm saying.
She's funding us. Shh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't get twisted.
Right.
No, we're not even doing Brainiac. I'm done. We're not even doing Brainiac. I'm done. Good night.
Oh, you brought it up.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna let you get me out of here. Anyway, Joel, tell us what we're looking at.
Brainiac.
The
No.
context of what we're looking at.
In context, literally like an hour or two ago, Umberto posted a picture of Brainiac with eyes. Again, it's just him He's teasing something. What he knows, we don't know because he hasn't shared that with us yet. But apparently, something Brainiac related is on the horizon, and we'll just have to speculate till then. That's it, really.
If I'm making a
educated
guess, Brainiac is in Supergirl. If that's my educated guess. If there's no room for him in Superman, Supergirl makes the most sense. Not like he's in it in a big role. He's in it as like the, whether you want to say the looming
nice little
threat
tease.
Oh my god.
I'm out. Have a good night.
And the looming what?
A nice little tease.
Yes.
What's the name of that Transformer, Joel, and that speaks like that? There's a name for him. Fuck.
I don't know. Trayvon.
It's a bad
Not
guy.
Bumblebee.
No, it's not Bumblebee.
No, not Bumblebee.
I forget
I
it.
know.
Oh, you love it.
Oh, it's at the radio?
No, it's not. It's he sounds just like that. I can't remember his fucking name.
I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna kill me. I can't remember his name. He's a Decepticon. I think isn't he the tape? The one that turns into a tape.
Oh yeah, that is who you're thinking of. Yeah,
I forget his fucking name now. Yeah, it turns into a cassette. It's really weird. It's like, there you go. Do it, Trayvon.
What?
What did JV say?
So. Computer love.
Oh shit!
Does anyone have any thoughts before we get out of here?
Anybody thoughts
on what this tease could be?
I have no idea. I could see him being a looming threat for overall, but I don't know where. I don't know if it's in Supergirl.
I did see somebody he wouldn't be in Superman, right? So makes sense.
I wouldn't be surprised if they teased him in Peacemaker, to be honest.
If that is the big character that we see in Peacemaker, that'd be very confusing.
That'd be crazy.
We have a Superman movie and a Supergirl movie, and we premiere Brainiac and Peacemaker. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Unless it's lanterns.
That'd even be funnier. I'm just saying the irony of having a Superman and Supergirl movie, and their common foe is not in any of their respective projects. Would be hilarious.
I don't know if he'll be in either one of them, but I guess
the Supergirl one makes more sense because of that direct tie. Is the only reason why I said Supergirl.
They both have a tie to her. The only reason I'm not thinking,
I know him, but I'm saying directly to because Kara at least got to experience her home. That threat, that issue between her and Brainiac is a lot more personal.
Yeah, I mean, that means they made a hell of a swerve on that script, or because that means it's nothing like not nothing. He's not in Woman of Tomorrow at all. So it's like,
no, but I'm saying like an end credit. But maybe they casted someone.
Well, that's my thing because you know how you said like his end credits are not going to be like teasing for other shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're gonna get like Marvel post credits in these movies. They're just gonna be like.
I kind of feel like he means that overall. Like, don't expect it every time for every movie. I find it hard to believe that it won't be in some.
I mean, I don't know. Well, we know we're gonna get one, or I mean, they'll probably all have posts. It's just a matter of what the content of it is. Unless
I'm sure some of them will be completely fucking silly, but I'm saying I think it would be foolhardy for James Gunn to believe that none of his movies will ever have a connection in credit wise to what the big looming thing coming is. One of them will have to at some point. I'm not saying everyone needs to, which is why that's what I think he means. Everyone won't. You know what I'm saying? But I think some of them may.
That's another reason why I thought maybe it might be lanterns, because it's like we heard that it was going to be important down the road towards the overall. But they've also been coy about it being very self-contained. So I'm like, which one is it? Like, self-contained, or is it gonna have ramifications for the future? I don't know.
But at this point, who fucking knows? Maybe fucking, this could be fucking Steven Spielberg wants a Elseworld Brainiac movie. At this fucking point, who knows? Who fucking knows, right? Who knows? That's what this shit could be.
Still waiting on that. What was the name of that movie he was supposed to do?
Ready Player One.
No, the DC movie. Remember?
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
The Blackhawks.
Oh, that does sound like something Steven Spielberg would do. Well, we'll see. But if this becomes breaking news and the casting is big enough, we might see us again before next Wednesday.
We'll see if he spills any guts.
Or information. That'll work too. We do know Tadum is coming up. Trayvon would like to stream Tadum.
Woo.
I'm vehemently against it, but we'll see. I usually lose those battles.
Why are you against it?
I just it'll be on. Isn't it on Sunday or
It's on Saturday?
It's on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't want to have to sit in front of a camera. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really looking forward to the idea of that. But like I said, I usually lose those battles and I end up here anyway. So
My only thing is I'm busy Saturdays, but it's at 8:00 apparently, so it's late. I'm down. I'm not against that.
Which is what is it 8:00 California time?
Yeah, it's 8 p.m. here, Eastern.
Okay.
Oh, that's not scary.
So we'll see, guys. No promises, but we'll see. We'll see. Jamie, where can they find you and what you got coming up?
You guys can find me at swiper_prime and swiper _ shampoo. On the Prime side of things, I've been playing through games, been playing through Expedition 33. It's been super great. Oh my god, I think it's gotta be my game of the year until Yote comes out. That's gonna be a battle.
Jamie?
I'm almost at the end of Act 2. So Act 3 is only like one mission, so I'm pretty much like 80% done with the game.
I just got the big dude. What's his name? That you walk around.
SKA?
Yeah, him. I just got him.
He's great.
I don't know where the fuck I'm at exactly.
You should be. Oh my god.
You're farther than me.
Yeah, I think you're coming up on the end of Act 1, and there's some crazy stuff that happens at the end.
I've been having fun with it. I'm not gonna lie. So I agree with you so far. It's been fun. It just gives me so much. Without being an IP I've played ever, it gives me so much nostalgia. It's crazy. It plays so much like a lot of those old games, man.
It's very good.
It's fun. But the timing even is fun. It makes it different.
Yeah, and that was, I feel like, my side tangent. That was my big issue with like turn-based games, because I'm not against a turn-based game. I love Persona. I've played a few Final Fantasies, but just like the sitting and waiting while you're like waiting for the enemy attack or making a decision, I'm like, they just added that one little thing to make the battle just a little bit more active, and automatically I'm hooked. So I love it.
Totally.
But yeah, I've been playing through Expedition on the Prime side of things. Shampoo is more of my like yapping about games channel, and I'm trying to get more consistent with it. So I just beat an indie game on Saturday, so I'm gonna put up a short talking about it. Look forward to that, and I got a video about South of Midnight coming out soon as well, so I'm very excited to premiere that. But yeah, that's what I got going on. Appreciate you for asking.
Absolutely. And it does look like some gaming scoopers are reporting that Jean Grey is on the short list for the next hero in Marvel Rivals.
I definitely heard that.
Oh, I feel like I heard that a while ago. Well, not the short list, but
there's a lot
speculation.
There's been a lot of like.
I'm that right now.
Excuse me,
bro. I thought that was a clip. I was like, "What is it? What clip is playing?"
I can't wait till they tell us what the next two heroes are going to be. I'm very excited.
Here's the funny
I haven't
part.
played Rivals since Human Torch came out.
Block her now.
The funny part is they have her listed as a what's the category in the middle?
Oh, DPS.
DPS.
Duelist.
Yeah.
Strategist.
Duelist.
Like that.
Duelist.
Duelist is a DPS. Vanguard is a tank. Support is the strategist.
And apparently, Trayvon, you'll like this. Apparently, this is again rumor. They're gonna mix Jean's powers with the Phoenix.
So like two characters in one.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. We gotta activate the Phoenix. The Phoenix.
Yeah, that's gonna be real annoying if she goes in the air like Hella. I'm telling you this right now.
She's probably gonna have same finisher as fucking Adam Warlock, except it'll hurt. Like,
oh, fair. I always thought Hella would be the model they would go for if they were gonna do Phoenix.
What do you mean? Model.
Like how Hella, you know how Hella turns into like a bird, goes up in the
Oh,
air,
her
and
ult, her ult.
rains down. Yeah, I always thought that would be the model, but we'll see. And guys, at some point, Jamie will stream with us gaming Marvel Rivals. Probably not this year. Maybe next year we'll try for it.
We could stream it this weekend if you guys are available. I'm like, nah, y'all.
If you guys don't see us on Friday or Saturday or Sunday,
don't do
it'll
this.
be because Jamie was nowhere.
Y'all know why there was no stream last week? Do y'all know why? They was on here playing Marvel Rivals, not streaming it. That's what it was.
Were you in that game?
I wasn't invited.
But you were stalking, right? You were watching the stalking.
You want to know how I know that?
It didn't go in.
You want to know how I know that? I was asking Didge, like, oh, you're going to join the show this week? And Didge was like, there is no show. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I think they're playing Marvel Rivals. I'm like, what? So then I asked Trayvon. You know what Trayvon said? He said, oh, yeah, we're not doing the show this week. He didn't say nothing about Rivals. Nothing. I wasn't invited.
Rivals is always the backup plan.
Right. First of all, anytime we play, it is never planned. That's one. Two, everyone is always invited. It's never.
You don't need an invite. It's
if
an
you
open
wait
invite.
for us to invite you, you'll never play with us. If you see us on, hop on and join us.
That's fair.
All right.
That's very fair.
Simple as that. Didge says he wants to join the stream. If you guys actually show up for the stream, we will stream all together. Happily.
The eyes.
Happily. Damn, Didge and Jamie.
If we cannot play with other people that are not our friends, then we would love that.
We say that all the time. Jamie, right. I low-key thought y'all were soft rejecting me to be on the podcast. Bro, no, not at all.
Absolutely not.
So I'm saying this now. I will be on Friday night. I will see if I see anyone else there. That is all I'll say. That is all I say. So DJV, if we come back Wednesday and you didn't see that we streamed Marvel Rivals, you call out Jamie personally. Sounds fair to me. Come on, what are you doing? What are you playing in the back?
He's just breathing, I think, an auto-tune.
It's like, what is happening?
See, that's what I was about to say. Friday, it might be a couple matches because I'm trying to, finish Act 2 for Expedition. So like, I'll hop in there a couple matches, be like, nobody shout at me.
No. We'll do this. What day works better for you?
And then
what day works better for you?
No, we could do Friday. Friday's fine.
Oh, look. See?
What about that?
They're already figuring out ways to not stream with us. Already.
No, I'll be there.
Call out Jamie immediately. Or, wait. Who says expeditiously? Expeditiously. Call out Jamie. Yeah, I can do Friday. Okay. All right. We'll see. Okay. I'll definitely be on Friday.
Don't call me Saturday.
I'll definitely be on Friday.
I'll be there Friday. Don't call me Friday.
All right, yeah. Good night, guys. Good night.
Bye, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good
night, everybody. See you Friday. Bye.
Thank you, Jamie, for joining us. Thank you, DJV and Didge in the comment section is what I was trying to say.
I love this so much.
We won't have a show next week. I swear to God. Good night, guys.
Bye.